As we welcome you live here inside Shirley Povich Field. Good evening from Cabin John Regional Park here in Bethesda, Maryland. It's the top of the first at Povich Field. Early start, 6:59 first pitch between the Bethesda Big Train and the visiting DC Grays coming to town for the first time. Ben Bobek and Tyler Gallo here for Big Train TV. One batter deep here at Povich Field. Scott Bandora, the leadoff hitter and outfielder, center fielder to be exact, for the Grays, managed by Reggie Terry, reached on a hit by pitch on a full count from Big Train starter Ryan Lynch out of the University of Notre Dame. Tyler, happy to be back here with you on a beautiful but warm Sunday night for baseball here.
Yeah, it's pretty hot outside, Ben. There's really no question about that, and we'll see how that affects the players going forward.
90 degrees, partly cloudy here at Povich Field as the lefty Ryan Lynch goes back to work on Patrick Vandenberg, the second baseman, hitting second for Reggie Terry's DC Grays, as we said. Cam Buford, the shortstop, hits third. Burke Camper, catcher, cleaning up. Jared Sprague-Lott, the third baseman. Tanner Seguspie, the left fielder. Jay Tarkenton, the first baseman. Peter Costigan, the designated hitter. And Sam Kaplan in right field round things out as Bandora leads off. First throw down by Grant Knipp, the catcher, bounces off of Austin Gauthier, the shortstop's glove, into the outfield. So after the stolen base by Bandora, he advances all the way down to third base here with no outs in the top of the first as the very first base runner on the Big Train defense.
And we've just seen an uncharacteristically poor effort from the catchers the last two nights. And it's starting off tonight on a sour note with that bad throw by Grant Knipp and into center field and on to third base, Scott Bandora. It's just something that needs to be fixed going forward. You can't be giving away base runners like this.
First error of the night, charge there to the Big Train defensively as Bandora makes it all the way to just 90 feet away from being the first run of this one, as that one is tapped foul. Count will stay at 1-2 strikes on Vandenberg. Here is the 1-2, hit high in the air to the left side. Rocco Pepe, the third baseman, giving chase, but no play for him there. Defense looks like this behind Ryan Lynch. As we said, Nip behind the dish. Nolan Shanuel makes his return to first base. Christian Martin at second. Austin Gauthier at short. Rocco Pepe, as just mentioned, at third. In the outfield from left to right, Darius Foster, Matt Thomas, and Lynch's Notre Dame teammate Brady Gump rounds things out in right. Here's the 1-2 again from Lynch. Breaking ball out there on the edge of the plate. And it's a backwards K for Patrick Vandenberg. First out of the top of the first here for Lynch and co.
Big response out there for Ryan Lynch, a guy that was showing some control issues to start things off. Got hit by pitch and then some poor defense behind him. Gets the runner all the way to third. But how do you strand a runner at third? You strike him out. And that's exactly what he was looking for in that situation.
So Vandenberg goes down, bringing up the shortstop Cam Buford in the 3-hole tonight. Had a pretty good game the last time these two teams met down in Southeast D.C. 1 for 3 with a single. He takes this one outside for ball 2. And this one cracked to Martin, the second baseman. Doesn't even look at the runner coming home. It's an RBI sacrifice, 4-3 ground out for Cam Buford. And the scoring is opened with Scott Bandora trotting home to start off. DC 1 and the Big Train nothing.
That's a manufactured run for DC, and that's how you got to get them, especially with a guy as good as Tucker Alch on the mound tonight. Tucker Alch, who was the CRCBL pitcher of the week last week. Just a great pitcher, and you got to get runs any way you can against this Big Train team, and a really good manufactured run there for Scott Bandora.
We will get to Alch in the bottom of this inning. It's Ryan Lynch out there trying to work his way around a leadoff hit by pitch, who came all the way around to score in the form of Scott Bandora. Now has 2 outs and a chance to get out of it, facing Burke Camper, the catcher, as Lynch starts him off with a ball. Now gets a swing and miss on the heater back over the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. Lynch on the year, just 2 games, a 6.0 ERA and a 1-0 record. 3 innings of work, 3 hits allowed, 2 runs, 5 strikeouts, and 1 walk. On his way, looking for his second strikeout of the day here, as he has a 1-2 on Burt Camper.
And we'll see if he has the mad hits here. Of course, Burt Camford was mentioned in that song 1 week by the Bare Naked Ladies. If you know that, Burt Camford's got the mad hits. But we'll see if he's got the mad hits at the dish here.
This one skirts away from nip behind the dish. Camper on the year, a 207 hitter. 6 walks drawn, 3 RBIs, 6 hits, 4 runs scored. Hitting cleanup tonight for DC. Here's the 2-2 from Lynch. Swung on and missed for his first swinging strikeout of the day, second of the inning. But a leadoff batter hit by a pitch comes back to bite Lynch as he gives up 1 run, no hits, no runners. Left on board, 1 error for the Big Train in the top of the first. It's DC 1, Big Train nothing. Middle first here at Povich Field. Some scenes from a beautiful Sunday night for baseball here at Povich Field. 1-0 DC as we get ready here to welcome the Big Train offense to the game. And it will start with Austin Gauthier, the newly committed University of Maryland Terp. Back out at the shortstop hole tonight. And ready to take the first pitch from Tucker Alch in there, inside, ball 1.
Alch had a sparkling week of baseball on the pitcher's mound for the DC Grays and one of the better pitchers on this staff. We've seen some tough pitching from these guys, though, this year.
Chopper straight to the third baseman, Jared Sprague. Lot over to Jay Tarkenton at first base. And 2 pitches, 1 out as Gauthier is retired on the ground out. Bringing up Darius Foster, the left fielder. Behind him will be the center fielder, Matt Thomas. Rocco Pepe, third baseman, cleaning up tonight. Danny Nerai back in the order at the designated hitter position. Grant Knipp behind him as the catcher. Nolan Shawnuel, Brady Gump, and Christian Martin at first base, right field, and second base, respectively. Round things out at 7, 8, 9 as Foster takes the first pitch high and inside for ball 1.
Yeah, Alch out of BYU, I believe it is, or Catholic University. One
Catholic.
Of those, yeah. Catholic University, a guy that is very reliable on this pitching staff. And
lanky 6'4" righty, rising junior at the Catholic University of America here down in Washington, D.C., here in the D.C. metro area. On the season, 11 flat innings of work, 3 hits allowed, 11 strikeouts, just 1 walk, and no runs. A 0.00 ERA through 2 games. As you said, the CRCBL Pitcher of the Week last week as he delivers the 1-1 to Darius Foster. He's a little late on it, sends it foul. Out of play left side.
If you're in last place, it's a great way to get back into it with your ace going to the mound right now, and Tucker Alch has been just that for the Aces this year. Or, excuse me, the Grays. Just in Alexandria a couple nights ago.
Alch deals to the 1-2 outside with the breaking ball. Good pitch there, trying to get Foster to chase on the 1-2, but count evens up 2 balls and 2 strikes. You mentioned the standings. Big Train atop at 14-3, coming off the loss 10-2 to Silver Spring Tacoma last night. Up in Silver Spring, they're 4 games ahead of the Gaithersburg Giants in second at 9-6. And Foster chops this one through the left field hole, and there goes the no-hitter for Tucker Alch as Darius Foster is aboard. The first time tonight a Big Train batter has reached first base.
Yeah, and if Alch can get out of it like he has before, it'll be a good first inning. But the Big Train offense has been utterly silenced the last couple of nights. Just 11 runs in the last 2 games, or excuse me, just 7 runs in the last 2 games as they won 5-2 and then they lost last night 10-3.
7-4 the night before that, if you want to go all the way back to that Gaithersburg win. Back here the other night is Povich as Matt Thomas takes the first pitch in there for strike 1. Thomas out of the College of William and Mary, back in center field tonight. Had a couple great plays out there last night despite the scoreline. Now faces the 0-1. Foster going. Throw down from the catcher, not in time. Burke Camper put a pretty good charge into that one, but bounced it. Buford coming over on the cover. Couldn't get the tag down. And death taxes Darius Foster. Infield hit. And advances to second on the first pitch, or on the second pitch, pardon. Thrown to Matt Thomas. So runner in scoring position, 1 out here for at least the 3 and 4 in Big Train's lineup. Thomas 1 off, Rocco Pepe on deck in terms of RBIs to lead the team. 17 for Thomas, 18 for Rocco. Alch comes set of the stretch for the 1-1. This one way inside with the hook, and it's 2-1.
And he's been on a bit of a slide recently after his Player of the Week. He has been in and out of the lineup and got rung up on a questionable call last night as well. It's been rough goings. But luckily, the waters are getting a little less choppy here.
Average has dropped to just 409 as he sends a charge into dead away center field. Bandora back. Foster tagging from second. Throw down to Spraglott at third in time, but the tag not quick enough. A little offline there from Bandora in center field. So it's a sacrifice fly out from Matt Thomas to put Darius Foster 90 feet away from tying this game with 2 outs here in the bottom of the first.
And potentially another manufactured run for Bethesda here to respond to the one that was put up by DC in the first inning. If Foster can score here, that'd be perfect and a good response for that first inning. You know, he stole second, gets to third on the sacrifice fly, and could come home on pretty much anything here, as long as it's not a strikeout.
Anything in play here would likely score the left fielder out of San Francisco as Pepe takes that first one on the inside edge. A Rocco screams our good friend Chris over from Catalyst, making that voice loud and proud throughout the Shirley Povich concourse. Here's the 0-1, swung on, chopped third base side. This one could be a tough play for Spraglott. He fires over to Tarkenton in time to retire Pepe and the Big Train side. They leave one aboard here with just 1 hit. It stays DC 1 and the Big Train nothing. Top of the second coming up next. Top of the second, just about underway here from Povich Field. Pardon me, Jared Sprague-Lott. After making the final out of the bottom of the first, we'll lead things off here against Ryan Lynch back out there. And Lynch gets a swing and miss to start off Sprague-Lott. 0-1. 214 hitter on the year, 6 hits, 7 runs scored as he swings and misses at a nice off speed there and quickly in the hole here, 0-2.
He's another guy that's been in a slide recently. He was a guy that was leading the league in batting average, at least through the early portion of the season, but he's fallen quickly out of that spot as he's not been able to accrue any more hits.
10 walks on the year, but not in the position to take one here as he skies one towards left center field. Foster and Thomas coming over. Thomas ranging over, and he settles under it for out number 1.
Converged on that ball pretty easily. Nice, easy, lazy F8 for Sprague-Lott.
Tough to read Darius Thomas in left because when he takes off pretty quickly no matter what. So you can never tell how far the ball is going. Matt Thomas, a little bit easier to read as he trotted under that one pretty smoothly. And it's a 3-pitch first out for Sprague-Lott. Retires the first batter and sends a bender straight over the plate in there to Saner Seguspy, the left fielder.
I don't see Ryan Lynch going more than 3 in this game, maybe 4. He's a guy that's another bulk guy out of the bullpen we've seen this year.
Seguspy sends this one straight back to Thomas in center. Comes in and can't make a play on it. Misread that and a little bit too soft as it died straight in front of Thomas. Collected it on one bounce. And Seguspy reaches as the second base runner of this game.
That line drive just died for Seguspy, and once I saw Thomas step back a little bit, you knew he probably wasn't going to make the catch. He had to run a long way to get to that ball. He got fooled by it, and the sun is playing some nightmares here at Povich Field.
coming from, as you can see, the home plate is not in the sun. The long shadows from the trees in the outfield. As this one is laced down the left field line, that's going to get down. Foster playing towards right center. Seguspy rounding second. He's charging. Foster mishandles. Seguspy rounding third. Coming home to score. Misplayed by Gauthier on the relay. And it's 2-0 DC. It's an RBI double for Jay Tarkenton.
Things are just not going well for Bethesda lately. Things have been falling apart, it seems, just as they go along. And here it's another one, a hanging fastball right down the middle. Not going to miss that, and making him pay dearly for it. Back-to-back hitters Seguspy and Tarkenton.
Foster in left field was aligned a little further right than where he is right now. Towards left center field. And that one straight down the third base line, tucked into the corner off the fence. Foster couldn't get it quickly. Gauthier couldn't handle the relay in. So safe all around, and the second run home for DC. Ball 1 into Peter Costigan. Now he sends one high down the right field line. Sean Uel working over to the fence, and with plenty of space, collects that one, fires over to Pepe at third base to hold Tarkenton at second base. So 2 outs and a runner on second here for Lynch after allowing the second run of this game.
Yeah, and good settle in here. He gets, I guess, a fly-out sandwich, if you want to call it, P3, whatever you want to score it as. But Sam Kaplan looking to get some more runners in here with a runner in scoring position.
Top of the order, and Scott Bandora on deck with 2 outs here in the top of the first. And Lynch out of the stretch, takes over at the runner on second, now fires, gets a swing and miss from the right fielder Kaplan. Rising junior at Cornell, Vegas native, 6'1", 220. Oh, and 1 bounces in the dirt, ball 1. Kaplan, a .293 hitter on the year, 12 hits, just 4 runs scored, 9 RBIs, and 2 home runs. So another guy in that 9-hole with some pop. We saw Matt Stone, the Alexandria catcher, hit one out of that hole as check swing went around, says the home plate umpire. So it's 1-2 on Kaplan. Kaplan the other night, 0 for 3. Strikeout ground out and a fly out. Not quite the cycle most hitters are looking for. Here's the 1-2 from Lynch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. And Lynch strands another runner on board, but one more run comes across for DC on the RBI double by Tarkenton. It's 2-0 DC as we head to the second, bottom of the second, here on Big Train TV. So a 3-pitch strikeout for Danny Nerai to start off the bottom of the second. And that will bring up Grant Knipp. Took the first 2 pitches on the outside edge. Swung at the third one, bounced in the dirt. Camper able to throw down to retire him 2-3. And it's 1 out here for Grant Knipp, the catcher, who swings and misses. Tips that one back to Camper.
Surprisingly, at first base yesterday, and that led to a late defensive error by. He didn't get an error, but it was a mental error. He took the ball and just didn't know where to throw it, and that led to the big inning for the T-Bolts last night.
Here's the 0-1 from Alch. Breaking ball inside, ball 1.
The last thing the Big Train want is for Alch to get into a groove here like he has this season thus far, and it's has all the makings of a pitcher's duel in this game. But as of right now, Lynch has allowed a couple runs.
That one in there, strike 2. Big Train threatening early to put the first earned run on Alch's record this season. But he erased that and now puts one inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Knipp, who could potentially erase that with 1 swing of the bat. But right now just focused on getting on base here. There's a 2-2 from Alch. He deals. Swung on. Tap towards Spraglott, the third baseman. He handles, charging, firing to Tarkenton for out number 2.
And Alch is getting into that groove, it seems, already. He allowed that 1-out base hit last inning, but quickly 2 are out here in the second.
8 pitches by my count. And he's got 2 outs here after a pretty quick bottom of the first for the Big Train offense as well. Foster singled up the left side, came all the way over to third after stealing second, but of course the Big Train not able to get him home. Now Sean Ewell swinging at the first pitch he sees, over to Vandenberg at second, and he vacuums it up for a very quick out number 3. 9 pitches, 3 outs for Tucker Alch. He's through 2 scoreless. We get to the top of the third here on Big Train TV, but first, a word from our sponsor. at the Dandy Walker Alliance.
1 in 10,000 children are born with a brain malformation known as Dandy Walker syndrome. Dandy Walker can cause enlargement of the skull, lack of muscle control, and other developmental challenges. More research is needed, but we do know that early therapy helps many live healthier, fuller lives. 1 in 10,000 may not seem like a lot unless your child is the one. Learn more, find help, and help others. Visit dandy-walker.org.
Yep.
Scott Bandura and the top of the DC order here in the top of the third. And it's a new pitcher to face him. Ryan Doherty out of Long Beach State kicks and delivers. His first pitch is high. Final line on Ryan Lynch, the starter. 2 innings pitched, 2 hits allowed, 2 runs, just one of them earned. No walks, 3 strikeouts. As this one works back inside, 2-0 on Bandura, who was hit by a pitch and came around to score as the very first batter in this game. Doherty on the year, a 0.00 ERA, 2 1/3 innings of work, 4 strikeouts, a couple walks issued. And just 1 hit allowed. Here's a 3-0 in there, and he's back in the count, 3-1. To his slow, methodical windup. This one high for ball 4, so Scott Bandura on twice without a hit either one.
Bandura having a very nice OBP night for himself. Painful for the first time.
Bandura on the year, just a 286 hitter, 12 hits, 9 runs scored. As Patrick Vandenberg, the second baseman, steps in. However, Bandura also with a 404 on-base percentage, so no stranger to this getting on-base thing, as this one kicks away from Nip. Bandura, just like that, down to second for the second time in 3 innings. Probably a passed ball. I don't know if that one hit the dirt or off of Nip's foot or something.
Well, the woes continue for Big Train catching. 2 nights in a row now, or 2 days in a row, I guess. It's still sort of day, I guess, with the as the sun's out. But Hatfield had a
in there at the letters.
Hatfield had a tough night behind the plate last night, and then Nip tonight is just not making the plays that he normally does. And that may be from not catching in a long time because Nerai's been behind the plate, but you don't want to speculate.
1 ball, 1 strike to Vandenberg, who sends this one high in the air. Pepe coming in from third, halfway up the third base line. That one settles into his mitt for out number 1. celebrates quickly with Doherty. Hands off the baseball, and Doherty back to the bump to work against Cam Buford, the lanky shortstop, wearing number 51. Interesting baseball number, 6'3", 185. Rising junior at Grambling State out of South Holland, Illinois. High batting stance as well, similar to Sean Uels, as that one goes straight back into the screen, 0-1.
Has has one of the 2 RBI tonight for the Grays, as he got a sacrifice ground out to score a run.
Doherty out of the stretch for the 0-1. This one laced to Darius Foster. One hop, Burn left. He'll get it in. And a little bit of an errant throw, but collected by Pepe. Trots all the way back to the mound to hold Scott Bandora at second. It's 1 out, and runners on the corners here. DC threatening for the 3rd straight inning.
Yeah, and if you're Coach Sal, you got to wonder what's going on with your team. For they rolled through the competition the first 16 games, they all of a sudden are playing, a questionable baseball for these first couple innings.
That was just a good piece of hitting by Buford. Pulled that one straight in front of Foster. And this one high for strike 1. Again, just the 2nd hit of the season allowed by Doherty. Most of the base runners he's allowed have been via the walk. Did also allow one of those to Bandora, who now stands 90 feet away from scoring his 2nd run of this one at 3rd base. 0-1 in the dirt. Even the count again. Nip, plenty of action already behind home dish. Doherty taking a long look in. Now comes set, hands at the belt. He kicks, fires, swung on, foul. Into the screen above the right side.
And that sun is intense right now out there. Shadows starting to creep in a little bit, but there's also sunspots all over the outfield. And shadows are almost over the entire field now, but still pretty intense.
Normally starts to settle behind the tree line in the 4th and 5th-ish inning. As this one, beautiful pitch on the outside edge, but maybe a half a ball too far outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Burt Camper, the catcher. Rising junior at Towson, Allison Park, native, Pittsburgh area. Camper waggles the bat. Here's the 2-2, runs way inside, and the count goes full. Camper takes a practice swing. Gives the bat a couple waggles as he steps back into the box. Right foot all the way back. Doherty set, hands low. Swing and a miss on the 3-2 pitch. And it's 2 outs here after Camper strikes out swinging for the 2nd time tonight.
Another big strikeout here for Doherty. Just trying to get out of this inning with no runs more across.
Timely whiff there from the DC batter to bring up Jared Sprague-Lott, who flew out to center his last time up.
Wouldn't it be funny if Ryan Doherty warmed up to Daughtry?
It would be funny if Ryan Doherty traded his number to Christian Martin. So Walmart McCaffrey, as you called him last night, could wear that number 22 that Doherty currently sports. But some things just aren't meant to be. As Doherty fires this one in there, 1-0. Now foul tipped back towards Tanner Seguspie on deck.
Well, when a guy gets here late, he's not going to get the best choice at numbers.
Number 6 is still a pretty good number.
It is.
I'm sure Martin doesn't have too many complaints over that one. Standing out there at 2nd base. Maybe not the top thing on his mind.
Wasn't that the number Rendon wore for the Nationals?
I wouldn't know. I forgot about him. He's completely left my mind. I was talking to a buddy today about that because what was it, last night, the night before we were talking about that?
Yeah.
Went out to Anaheim, just completely vanished from baseball after being potential MVP candidate for 2 years in a row. This one's fouled back.
Got his bag, though.
And it's 1-2. Got his bag, and
dipped.
Good for him. But, again, out into the oblivion in Anaheim, which is strange because as much coverage as Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout get,
and he actually had a
played a little too dirty for our home plate umpire.
He actually had a quietly
Grant Nipp
solid.
will retire the sunglasses. Sorry.
2020. It was very quiet. Just 9 home runs, 31 RBI, 286 batting average, straying a bit from his last 3-year norms.
I mean, I don't think in the last 3 years of his contract with Washington, I don't think he hit below 300.
Yeah, he did not. And
Here's the 1-2 from Doherty. He checks over on Buford at first.
And he lived to torment the New York Mets.
Yes, he
I mean,
did.
it was
I know you
crazy.
can speak to that on a personal note.
Yeah, I was at the game where he hit 3 home runs and drove in 10.
Yes.
And that was
Great
the last
game.
time I was in D.C., and guess what? I'm going back tomorrow.
I hope you bring the same luck. The 1-2 outside.
Well,
Even 2 balls, 2 strikes.
With Jared Eichhoff starting and being a bullpen game for the Nationals, I'm expecting a 72
Paolo Espino, perfect game incoming. If what's-his-name can do it for the Pirates in 5 innings today. Here's the 2-2,
Krennic.
pardon. Max Krennic, yep. Outside, count
Love those
full
buccos.
again for the second consecutive batter.
Love
Did not
those
see
Pirates.
action for St. Mary's of California. Pardon me. I think I said Long Beach State when Doherty entered. Capistrano native. Runner goes on the 3-2 inside. And Doherty walks the bases full for Tanner Seguspie, who singled and scored in the last inning. So Sprague Lott works his 11th base on balls of the year to load the bases.
That might be one of the top in the league.
Right up there with Keith Torres, who rides the pine tonight after a tough outing yesterday. Here's a first pitch in there to Seguspie, fouled back into the screen for strike 1. Nationals legend Kyle Barraclaw, also out of St. Mary's, along with Corbin Burns.
Also, Tom Candiotti and Von Hayes.
Here's the 0-1. Swung on and missed, strike 2. And Ryan Doherty a strike away from getting out of this one. Grant Nipp wants to make sure they get it right.
Of course, Von Hayes spent many years with the Philadelphia Phillies.
So 0-2 to Seguspie, the left fielder. And Doherty out of the windup with the bases loaded. Glove above his face, drops it to the belt. He kicks. Here it comes. Fouled down the right field line and out of play. No chance for either Sean Ewell or Gump at that one. Count stays 0-2. Here it comes again. This one, breaking ball inside and a little too far. It's 1-2. Good pitch there from Doherty. Normally see that 0-2, a little bit more outside. He worked the bender back in there. Now quickly back to the windup here with the 1-2. This one swung on, hit towards Thomas in center. He's back. This one is going to go off the wall and miss Thomas's glove. 1 run is in. Here comes 2. It's a bases clearing triple for Tanner Seguspie. Make it 5-0 DC here in the top of the 3rd.
And things are unraveling quickly here on the Big Train pitching staff, and they come in and score a couple of runs here. Not a good inning whatsoever. Things are snowballing.
That one hit hard over Thomas's head, off the batter's eye in dead center field, and couldn't get a mid on it in time to get a relay in, potentially save one of those runs. So all the way down to 3rd is Seguspie. He's halfway towards the cycle, and with a triplet of RBIs as well. Doherty straight back into the windup with the runner on 3rd. Delivers a swinging strike to Jake Tarkenton, who doubled home Seguspie for an RBI back in his previous plate appearance in the 2nd inning. Here's the 0-1 again, swung on and missed. Doherty trying to come straight back to work. Windup, fires the 0-2, swung on, tapped towards Gauthier at short. He can't handle the bobble. Coming hard to his backhand, charging that one from deep in the shortstop hole. And Seguspie will score Tarkenton reaches on the error by the shortstop, and it's 6-0.
Yeah, no RBI for Tarkenton there is just an error, but I'm sure he'd love to have that one. Unfortunately for the big train, things are starting to go awry very quickly.
Tough unearned run there from Doherty. He comes straight back. I mean, he worked Tarkenton into an 0-2. Got not an easy ground ball to Gauthier, but still a makeable play. A very tough break there for Doherty after a good start to the inning. Had himself in a good position. But 3 straight batters have reached base now. 2 of them have come around to score already. It's 6-0 DC here in the top of the third, pardon. And the way the big train bats have been silenced through the last 3 games, tough hill to climb in the rest of this one. Here's the 2-1, swung on, laced to center. Thomas ranging over to his left. This one's going to drop in there for another base hit. Over to third goes Tarkenton, and Peter Costigan keeps the line moving with his first base hit of the day.
I mean, there's not much more you can say about this inning than what is going on out there for the big train staff. Another good piece of hitting there from Peter Costigan, and they're just well-placed, well-timed hits, and the DC Grays are capitalizing on some misjudgments by the big train.
5 runs. It's 4 runs home. Scoreboard says 5. That's incorrect. But we have it right here. There it is. Now it's fixed. 4 runs home here in the top of the third. The 5th just 90 feet away with Tarkenton on third. And here it comes as this one skirts off the outside of Grant Knipp's mitt. Tarkenton slides home a little bit unnecessarily. Kicks up a cloud of dust. And it's 7-0 DC.
Do you feel a little bit better about maybe eating that cicada later, Ben?
What do you mean, maybe? I'm a man of my word. It's on Twitter and everything.
Do you feel better about eating that cicada later, Ben?
I just know that it's going to be useful when it comes to filling time, as this one is outside for ball 2 to Sam Kaplan, as DC has now batted through here in the top of the third. They lead 7-0. And Doherty laboring as this one is outside for ball 4. Third walk of the inning. And 5th consecutive batter to reach base after Burke Camper struck out swinging for the second out of the inning. And now Craig Lopez, the pitching coach, will come out for a visit. What do you think Lopez's message to Doherty is right here?
I think it's just, look, dude, you've got 1 out to get, and that's really all you need to get right here. And you're losing focus and losing sight of the zone here. Just need to key in, maybe hone in on a pitch that is working for you and get out of this inning. Because it's been a very long and laborious inning for him. And certainly can wear on a pitcher from time to time.
And this one, a high fly ball towards left. Foster giving chase back at the wall on the track, and he makes the running grab. So whatever Craig Lopez said seems to work for Ryan Doherty as he finally gets a loud fly ball from Scott Bandora to wrap up the third inning. But 5 runs for DC comes home on just 4 hits. They take a 7-0 lead to the bottom of the third here on Big Train TV. Welcome you back here to Shirley Povich Field, and if you're lucky enough to come out and join us here at the ballpark, make sure to check out Catalyst Hot Dogs, open in the winter of 2020, located just beyond the third base grandstand here at Povich. Specializing in Jersey-style hot dogs, Catalyst is inspired by the classic Jersey joints that owner and operator Chris Van Jork grew up enjoying. Featuring Rosetta Farms all-beef dry-aged dogs as well as vegan dogs, Catalyst is available for all of your event needs and can be found on all social media platforms under the handle at Catalyst Hot Dogs. That's at CATALYST Hot Dogs. Contact them at info@catalysthotdogs.com. Catalyst Hot Dogs, one all the way, as it's a 2-1 count here to Brady Gump to start things off for the Big Train with his first plate appearance in the bottom of the third. Gump, Martin, top of the order, as this one is sent straight back where it came from, up the middle. And Brady Gump gets the first hit here in the bottom of the third, and the comeback starts just like that for the Big Train.
And it can start as simple as that, just stringing a couple of hits together, chipping away at the 7-run deficit. You know, the Big Train are not out of this by any means, but it's going to be a tough task for them to answer.
So a base knock straight up the middle, the 11th hit of the year for Brady Gump, who's come on a little bit offensively of late. Last time he did face DC, had that pinch hit home run into the deep night down there in Southeast. One of a couple Big Train players to homer in that game, as this one is outside for the first pitch in on the second baseman, Christian, not McCaffrey, just Martin. 1 hit, 4 runs scored, 1 RBI, and 3 walks in his short stint with the Big Train so far. Rising freshman in the fall at Virginia Tech. Commit to the Hokies baseball program, of which head coach Sal Colangelo is a proud alumni. As Alch in his third inning of work comes set and delivers one on a very delayed strike call on the outside edge. 2-1. Took his time with that one.
Really did, and sometimes it can maybe make some players angry, but you never know.
Just a little confusing for those in and around the ballpark. Here's the 2-1 from Alch. Hand set high. He fires inside. It's ball 3 down to second on the, believe, pass ball. We'll see if that gets changed to a wild pitch. Goes Brady Gump, and it's a runner in scoring position here with no outs.
See what Christian Martin can do here. He's put a couple of balls in play. Yesterday he did. He got aboard with a hit. And he's been pretty silent but pretty good for this team thus far. Silent but deadly.
Looking to turn the order over here as he does so by taking ball 4. It's a 5-pitch walk by Tucker Alch. Just the second he's issued all season. And the third base runner tonight for the Big Train, bringing up Austin Gauthier, the leadoff hitter.
And they've got to know that runs are going to be hard to come by if Alch is on the mound. So you got to get him out of the game, chase him, and maybe expose that pretty shaky bullpen for DC. We saw some tough plays from Hassan Akil in that last game, allowed 8 runs and 8 walks. So we'll see what's up here.
As this one is straight over the plate to start Gauthier off with a strike. Sharp ground out to the third baseman Sprague Lott on the second pitch he saw back in the first inning. It's 0-1 here. This one breaks in there. It's 0-2 now.
This Big Train team hasn't homered in a couple of games. They didn't homer Alexandria, and they didn't homer last night at Silver Spring. And when they homer, they usually win.
As this one is sent high in the air towards right field. Tracking under it is Kaplan towards the line. Gump has time to tag from second. He'll do just that. Martin holds it first. Base runner is on the corners now with 1 out after a nice piece of sac fly there from Gauthier.
Yeah, gets the runner over and into 90 feet away, and a chance for Foster, who is one of the 2 hits for the Big Train today, to drive in a run.
Foster, as we said, stole second after reaching on that single up the left side. Came around to third on the sacrifice fly out by Matt Thomas. Good slide in from Foster to avoid the tag from Sprague Lott. was stranded there at third base, and a chance to help Brady Gump avoid the same fate he had. Camper sets up outside. It's high as well. Ball one. So for those wondering at home, if you go all the way back to the summer of 2019, you'll find the last time the Bethesda Big Train lost 2 games in back-to-backs as Martin is caught with a pickoff move there from the righty Tucker Alch. A nice move by Alch to clear one of the base runners and put a second out up there on the board.
When it rains, it pours for Bethesda, and today it's been just a slog through the first couple of innings.
As I was saying, T-Bolts and these Grays, June 7th and 8th of 2019, 13-4 decision to Silver Spring Tacoma and a 4-3 loss to DC to start off that 2019 season. The only time that year they lost back-to-back games. And Foster softly taps this one foul up the first base line.
Foster, member of that team.
Few members of that team back here with the Big Train this year. The Big Train did not lose back-to-back games in 2018 as Foster swings and misses through one there to even it up at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, so a bit of uncharted territory here for the Big Train, something they don't do quite often.
34-6 in 2018.
A lot of games left, though.
30-7 in 19. 14-3 so far this year. Here's the 2-2 lace to center field. That's going to get down, and the duck is broken. Gump trots home. It's an RBI single for Darius Foster, the first run of the game for the Big Train, the first run allowed all season by Tucker Alch.
Yeah, and breaks the long scoreless streak of 13 2/3 innings for Tucker Alch. One of the longest you'll see this year, perhaps, and Foster just going where the pitch is hit, hits it up the middle.
Certainly impressive display of pitching so far this season by Tucker Alch, but an equally impressive bit of hitting there from Foster to send it right back where it came from for the RBI single, his second of the night. Foster was about to take off there. This pitch runs high on Thomas. Camper came up, checked Foster back over to first, so he will stay there. 7-1 Big Train here after Gump comes home to score. Singled, advanced to second on the fly out. Actually stole second or took a wild pitch. Pass ball, I think it was. And then down to third on the sacrifice by Gauthier to put him into scoring position.
Here's the question, Ben. Do you think that Foster will go even though Martin was picked off last inning?
Well, there, Tucker Alch is going to try his best to keep Foster as close as he can. Couple pickoff moves already. That one look down from Camper. It's 1-0 on Matt Thomas at the plate. Here it comes. He laces this one into right center field. That one's going to get down. Foster rounding second. He's going to be held up at third. And again, it's first and third with 2 outs here on a well-hit ball into right center field by Matt Thomas. His first base hit in a couple tries.
And way to get things going here if you're Matt Thomas. You've been on a slide recently, so why not just hit one nice into the gap and split the gap for a base hit. And now we'll see what's up here with the Rocco Pepe up at the plate.
Beautiful piece of easy contact there from Thomas. Takes that one the other way. Gets Foster 90 feet away for the second time tonight. And Rocco Pepe will be looking to do a little bit better. Grounded out to third to end that first inning. 2 outs, 2 on. And Rocco Pepe, we know, loves hitting against DC as Thomas leads off first. This one, a breaking ball inside for strike 1 to Pepe.
Yeah, this is the final matchup the Big Train have not seen this year.
Yep.
The final extracurricular matchup, I guess. First time DC comes here. Of course, they'll play Israel later in the year, but that's one that they didn't see coming before the season started.
Kemper sets up outside, and Pepe takes a hefty cut through that one. It's 0-2. And set high, all set out of the stretch. Here's the 0-2, and tap straight back to Sal Colangelo on the top step of the Big Train dugout. We'll do it again.
And we'll see if Pepe wishes he was still in D.C. right now playing this team, as he has 3 home runs this season, all against the D.C. Grays and all in the nation's capital.
330 down each line, about 375 to straightaway center field, not counting in that very tall batter's eye, a little bit deeper than the Washington Nationals Youth Academy, but this one's not going to matter. He laces this straight to the third baseman, Sprague Lott, who is able to handle it after a really tough play. Comes up holding his hand, but able to gun out Rocco Pepe on a fantastic stop to make it just 1 home here in the bottom of the third for Bethesda. They strand 2 more runners after breaking the shutout by Tucker Alch on 3 hits, 2 runners left aboard again. No errors for DC in that one. It's a 7-1 Grays lead. Top of the 4th coming up next on Big Train TV. Hitting dingers, playing right field, playing first base, designated hitting, and pitching for the second time tonight. Is there anything Kemp Alderman can't do as the rising sophomore at Ole Miss takes the bump here in the top of the 4th?
Think he can drive a boat?
Probably. Starts off Vandenberg with a pitch outside. Now works one back over the plate, fouled off to the left side, and foul. Nice little backyard baseball crash sound effect.
Can we play some backyard baseball on the broadcast?
Yeah, I'd love to. Next time there's a rain delay, we'll boot it up. Here's the 1-1. Again, fouled back to the left side by Vandenberg, and
we will,
Alderman is ahead, 1-2.
We will shut off Sunny Day, and we will do our own commentary.
Commentate ourselves while we play.
Absolutely.
I'm sure that won't get biased at all.
I mean,
Alderman just 1 inning of work, 3 hits, 3 runs, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts, as this one is grounded. Diving stop by Pepe in the dirt, fires over in time to punch out Vandenberg at first. A sensational 5-3 putout, and hey, Rocco is on the board defensively.
Yeah, and you can hang an exclamation point next to that one, Ben. I mean, it's a tremendous diving stop. Did not get crossed up by the cue shot. It was hit off the end of the bat. Made the play in time to get the runner at first base.
And has to unbutton that belt, shake out the dirt. All down in the brown stuff there, able to pick it out and fire over. A great stretch by Sean Ewell at first to make sure Vandenberg went down on a sensational 5-3 putout by Pepe. First out of the inning. Now this one a little high to Cam Buford.
Buford from Phineas and Ferb? Probably not.
Not quite. A little taller A little thinner as he swings through strike one. Pepe at full extension, stopped that one, scooped it up out of the dirt, rifled it over to Sean Uell as this one runs a little bit inside. 2 balls, 1 strike on Cam Buford. Again, at shortstop out of Grambling State. Alderman comes set, good motion out of the stretch. High cheese gets Buford to swing and miss for strike 2.
A little bit of brie up there for Cam Buford.
290 on the year, 9 hits, 4 runs, 5 RBIs, 3 bases on balls worked. Here's the 2-2 from Alderman, swung on, tapped foul. We'll do it again.
Cam Alderman is bringing the heat.
Can certainly gun it if he can maintain that control. He's definitely got the stuff, the do-it-all big man out of Ole Miss. 6'3", 250. Looking every bit the part. Now comes set, hands at the chest. Fires, foul tip into the glove of Grant Knipp, and it's a swinging strikeout for out number 2 here in the top of the 4th.
Built a lot like Jonathan Broxton and pitching like him right now during his heyday.
Burke Camper 0 for 2, 2 swinging strikeouts, looking to avoid the same fate just suffered by Cam Buford. Taps the plate twice. Comes set with the bat waggling as Alderman does the same on the mound. High fly ball down the right side, well foul. Will there be a play for Sean Uell? There will not. This one well towards the light pole behind the third base bleachers.
Sean Uell.
Batting cage in the pavilion. Sean Uell was pretty convinced he had a play on that one.
He shedded his hat like a catcher.
He did not. No chance for him there unless he could miraculously jump 20 feet over the fans down the first base line. So it's 0-1 now on Camper. Here's Alderman again, bouncing this one on the right front corner of the plate. Just 3 balls left, says the umpire to the Big Train dugout. We'll get a new shipment promptly. 1-1 now on Camper. Alderman again comes set. Now kicks, fires, in there. A little too far inside, ball 2. Buford a 290 hitter, or that is Buford a 290 hitter, but he's been retired already. As Alderman tries to work the outside edge and sends it to 3-1. Camper a 207 hitter, 6 hits, 4 runs, 6 walks, 3 RBIs. He's worn a pitch 3 times, 7 strikeouts. As Alderman comes set, here's the 3-1. Outside, in the dirt, and ball 4. So Camper reaches for the first time tonight to bring up Jared Sprague-Lott, and I'm sure Alderman would like to retire him with Tanner Seguspie on deck now. Seguspie has had Big Train pitching number so far, halfway to the cycle with a single, a triple, and 3 RBIs as well. Sprague-Lott wearing number 11. Sophomore at Richmond next year. Philadelphia native, swings and misses through the first one, 0-1.
Out of Spider Nation.
Potential new name for the Cleveland baseball team, the Spiders.
That'd be awesome. I would love that.
I'm down with that.
Spiders is such an underrated mascot.
Here's the 0-1 from Alderman. Repping the Land Shark down at Ole Miss. No longer Johnny Rebel, as it's 0-2 on a good pitch inside. And Alderman has Sprague-Lott right where he wants him. Comes set, takes the sign, and works the pitch trying to get him to chase on the outside. Sprague-Lott says no. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Sun's starting to settle behind those trees in right center field. 82 degrees still here at Povich Field. Here's the 1-2 from Alderman. Inside, but a good job by Sprague-Lott to stay around on that one. Just sends it foul off the handle of his bat. Reload the count at 1-2. Alderman, hands at the face, now drops them low. Here's the kick, the 1-2, in there for a punch out. Beautifully put at the graze across Jared Sprague's lot chest. Second strikeout of the inning for Kemp Alderman, and he works the first scoreless frame for a Big Train pitcher. Middle 4 here at Povich Field. It's DC 7 and the Big Train 1. Danny Neride takes a called strike in there to start off his second at-bat. Went down on strikes to start off the second, and he gives this one a ride towards right field. Back to the warning track, and reaching up to make the grab on the run is Kaplan right up against the fence. Neride took the second pitch he saw, gave it a good ride. Nice contact, better than he's made last couple at bats, but still out number 1 here to bring up Grant Knipp.
Just a shame right there. Danny Neride crushed that ball, and fortunately for him, Kaplan was right on the money and made the catch.
Kaplan played that one very nicely as Knipp taps the first one back towards the Big Train dugout for strike 1. Little hezzy step, taking the first one back, then tracking it straight back to the warning track. Here's the 0-1. Way outside from Tucker Alch for ball 1. Bottom of the 4th, 6-run deficit for the Big Train. Now 2-1 on Knipp. As he takes a bender on the inside edge. 2 balls and 2 strikes, count even again. Knipp out of University of Alabama, 303 on the year. Ready to take the 2-2 way in front. Maybe a 55-footer there from Alch. 10 hits, 7 runs scored, 9. 381 on base percentage, 11 hits, 9 runs scored, 3 extra base hits, 1 of each sort, 1 double, 1 triple, 1 homer, 4 RBIs, and 5 walks for the utility catcher out of Alabama. Rising sophomore. Had a double taken away in that last game against DC down in Southeast. Umpire said he didn't step on first while making the turn. Here's the 3-2, and that ran up and hit him on the inside shoulder. And the home plate umpire going to trot down to first base with him. I don't know if he's trying to prevent Grant Knipp from charging the mound or something. That's what he was putting himself in position to do. And he'll hand deliver a ball to Tucker Alch. I mean, Knipp didn't look like he was going to do anything. It would have been ball 4 anyways. Flipped the bat back to the dugout. Took off hard towards first.
In the 7-1
first,
game,
I guess.
Charging the mound, I mean, yeah, it might get your team going a little bit, but it's not worth it.
So Knipp on first, 1 out now for Nolan Shanuel, the lefty. First baseman tonight, 265. 422 on base percentage. 13 hits, 15 runs batted in as he takes the first one in there for strike 1.
And -1 mustaches.
Yes. Rocked it for a couple days and didn't like the look of it. So, bye-bye. The facial hair went. Here's the 0-1 laced down into right field. That's going to bounce in front of Foster. Hard hit rocket single there. And it's 2 on, 1 out here for the big train.
Yeah, Ben, you could really say that he laced that one into right field, right in front of Sam Kaplan, the right fielder.
Kaplan took that one on a hop. Really hit too hard for Knipp to do anything more than advance to second.
No worries.
So Brady Gump, who stands as the only runner to score tonight so far for the big train, singled, came around in the 3rd. Now comes to the plate. First big train batter to bat in back-to-back innings. Little train horn sounds out there in the crowd. Nice crowd here for a Sunday night, warm Sunday night. Here's the 1-0 in there, strike 1 on Gump. Gump also hitting .303, 10 hits, 7 runs on the year. It was his line I started to read when talking about Knipp before. 9 RBIs, a double, a triple, and a home run.
Yeah, and you know, and for a guy like Gump here, just trying to get started on offense, and he really has picked it up over the recent days. It's been really awesome for him to, see him actually take aim and take flight here on offense a little bit.
He drives this one up the left side of the infield. That's going to get through. Knipp will hold, and it's a misplay by Seguspie, the left fielder. Knipp coming home to score. Shanuel holding at second. Relay goes all the way down to Kemper, the catcher. And it's 7-2. Big Train, a beautifully hit ball up the left side there from Brady Gump. And the Big Train played another here in the 4th.
Taking advantage right there of a misplay in right field or left field by Seguspie, a just perfectly placed hit again for Gump, who's been on fire lately, and that's what I've loved to see out of him. He's been one of my favorite players to watch over this recent stretch.
Brady Gump just keeps the bat a-running as Shanuel heads down to 3rd. Knipp scores from 2nd. Gump advances to 2nd on the throw, as Reggie Terry will trot out from the dugout to have a word with his ever-dependent ace, Tucker Alch.
Yeah, and his ace is bending a little bit here. You haven't seen him bend too much this season, and he actually did for the first time this year.
Alch will stay in for now. See some light warming up starting to happen in the right field pen for DC. 2 on in scoring position. 1 out and first base open here for Christian Martin. He took a base on balls from Alch, just the second that's been issued for the DC pitcher this year. Was picked off first. Takes the first pitch he sees straight over the pipe, strike 1.
And chipping away. They got to keep doing. Steve Miller Band once said, The lead keeps on slipping into the future. Not really exactly what he said, but
I think I'm generally picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah,
There's
I know.
the 0-1 from Alch. Bender way high, ball one.
Martin looking to fly like an eagle around the base pass.
Certainly has the speed to do that. Trying to say abracadabra to this baseball. Works some magic here with 2 on, 1 out. Count 1 ball, 1 strike. Kick, delivers, outside again, ball 2.
Looking to send one like a big old jet airliner over the right field fence.
That was the one I was waiting. I think that's the end of my Steve Miller band discography memory. Here's the 2-1. This one given a light charge straight towards the trainer's tent, just beyond the big train dugout and down the left field line. Just try not to look like a joker here.
A joker, a smoker, a midnight toker. Do you think they call him Maurice?
I think they call him McCaffrey. All set for the 2-2.
Christian
Checks
Maurice.
over on Sean Uell at third. And this one tipped back into the mitt. That's going to be a tough strikeout for Christian Martin. And Gauthier will come to the plate now, 2 on. And now 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. Big Train, like you said, just looking to let this lead for DC slip on by a little bit more.
And Maurice goes down swinging there. Christian Martin. You know,
Martin has to have the most nicknames issued
I don't know. Jack Cohn.
per time with team. There's got to be some
That's
sort
true.
of metric for that.
Per
First
capita?
pitch to Gauthier. Sure. I don't think that's what capita means, but. Ball 1 to Gauthier. And again, inside, ball 2.
Been a very laborious inning for Tanner Alch,
Absolutely.
who probably hasn't had too many tough innings this season. Of course, didn't allow a run coming into today.
As we said, 11 innings of work, just 3 hits, no runs coming into today. He's allowed 2 hits in this inning alone as strike 1 taken there by Gauthier. Big Train tonight, 2 runs on 6 hits so far, 2 errors. DC 7 on 5, 1 error for them. Probably on the misplay by Seguspy in left. Here's the 2-1 to Gauthier. He swings, hits this one high down the right field line.
We have
No
some
play
fielders
for
down there for
Tarkenton.
it. And none of them caught it. There
It's
was
like it's like they're playing 500. And I mean, there's a
Oh my
huge crowd.
goodness.
Somebody just came out of that a hero. I mean, there's a mass of
children.
youth baseball players.
And none of them caught that ball on the fly. There was like 16 kids over there, and none of them caught it.
Just have to know whether that ball was dead or alive.
Jackpot.
Long look in from Alch on the 2-2. He comes set. Setting up outside his camper. This one laced into right center field. That's going to get down and roll all the way to the wall. Gauthier will round first. 2 runs home on this one. Relay throw in. Stand up. 2 RBI double. And Austin Gauthier makes it a 3-run deficit here for the Big Train in the bottom of the 4th.
And this could be the hit that sets the tone for the rest of the game. A momentum shifter. Gauthier sends one into the gap, right past the center fielder Bondura, and he could not make any play on that. And in second, and with a fist pump on there, is Austin Gauthier.
Sean Uell easily home from third. Gump just as easily from second. Stand up 2-bagger for Austin Gauthier, his 4th of the year. RBIs number 17 and 18 to tie him for the team lead and put a runner in scoring position here for Darius Foster, who's 2 for 2 with 2 singles and an RBI as well. Gauthier dancing off second, swinging and missing at the first one is Foster. It's 0-1.
Alch is no longer Jacob deGrom on the mound, unfortunately, for the DC Grays, but fortunately for the Big Train. He is human. He can allow runs. And he has done just that in this inning. 3 runs across this one last inning as they keep on chipping away.
Hefty chunk taken out with that chip as Gauthier dances off second. This one in the dirt inside to Foster. Ball one. 7-4. The DC lead now. 3 across, as you said. 1 back in the third. Big Train get a little more offensive momentum rolling. As the wheels start squeaking, the rust may be shaking off a little bit. All set now for the 1-1. Here it comes. And this one sent high in the air. Way foul into the Big Train bullpen.
And doesn't this game look a lot better than it did before this inning?
Sure. I guess.
The score, I guess.
On paper, sure. I'm sure the Big Train would love to make it look even better for them with 3 more runs home. Chance for 1 more here with Gauthier in scoring position. 2 outs, bottom of the fourth. 1-2 on Foster. And he chops this one towards Vandenberg. The second baseman flips over to Tarkenton in time to retire the speedy Tarkenton. But it's a big bottom of the fourth for the Big Train as they slide their way back into this one. 3 runs home on 3 hits, 1 runner left on base, 1 error for DC. It's 7-4 Grays. Top of the fifth coming up. Ever dangerous Tanner Seguspy, 2 for 2 tonight. Single, triple, 3 RBIs. And he'll lead off the top of the fifth here for DC as they get their lead chipped away a little bit. 7-4 here as Seguspy swings and misses through the 1-0 there to even the count, 1-1. Kemp Alderman back out for his second inning of work. This one a little bit outside with a good off speed. 2-1. Buzzing crowd here at Povich Field tonight.
You know, we've been in this booth.
Butts in seats. Here's the 2-1 from Alderman inside, ball 3.
We've been in this booth several times, and I haven't had a good chance to take a look at some of these old tiny
There's
ads.
some good ones.
You know,
the shoeless Joe Jackson sign.
Ted Williams says drink Moxie.
This one backhanded by Pepe, foul. Just foul there. Would have been another nice defensive stop for the third baseman for Bethesda. Instead, count runs full on Seguspy. Here's the 3-2 swung on and missed. Seguspy retired for the first time tonight, and it's the third strikeout by Kemp Alderman on the bump. Big first out for the Big Train here in this one as they look to hang back-to-back zeros on the scoreboard and continue their climb back into this game. Couple of small ball runs for DC as this one is lined softly into right, settling under it easily for out number 2 is Brady Gump. So Gooseby works the count full, then strikes out, and Jay Tarkenton takes the first pitch he sees towards Brady Gump for a 1-pitch fly out, and just like that, 2 outs here for Peter Costigan, the designated hitter, RBI single. His last time at the plate, stranded at third in that 5-run second inning, As I was saying, 2 manufactured runs for DC in the first and second each to start things off with a 2-0 lead. Then they exploded by just keeping the line moving in the third. Big Train has answered in the fourth and fifth with 1 and 3 runs across respectively. 7-4 is where we stand here, 2/3 of the way through the top of the fifth, as it's 1-1 now to Costigan. And this one inside, ball 2.
Alderman just sizzling right now. Some of these pitches are, I'd love to get a radar gun on him, but of course Coach Sal does not like the radar gun.
Costigan, rising senior at the College of Charleston. Here's 2-1 from Alderman, inside again, and I guess the count on the scoreboard was wrong. Was 3 balls and 1 strike, and there's ball 4. Costigan reaches to avoid a 1-2-3 inning and bring up the 9-hole hitter, Sam Kaplan, the right fielder, out of Cornell again, Vegas native. Struck out swinging in the second, reached on a walk by Ryan Doherty in the third, and now faces his third pitcher this one as he drives this one towards right field. That one into the bullpen for a souvenir for the DC Grays pitchers. And strike 1. Costigan all the way around second, heading towards third on the crack of the bat with 2 outs. Sure. And he'll have to head all the way back. 0-1, 2 outs, runner on first.
Yeah, he was ready to run home on that.
Alderman checks. Now fires this one beautifully on the outside edge. 0-2. Alderman set, hands high. From the stretch. Here's the 0-2. Swung on, tap towards Gauthier at short. Backhanded. Firing deep in the hole. Bouncer offline. Sean Ewell gloves it down. Over to third goes Peter Costigan, advancing on a tough play by Austin Gauthier. Don't believe that will be an error.
No, yeah, they put it down as an error.
Already.
Tough error
quick.
to give it to him, though. I mean, that was a tough play to make in the hole, especially on the backhand and coming across the field. Gauthier put everything he could in that throw, planted his feet, fired it to first, just was not on line.
I'll politely disagree with the official scorer there. And this one given a charge straight back to Matt Thomas in center field. So Alderman works his way into a little bit of a jam with runners on the corners and 2 outs after getting back-to-back outs to start the top of the fifth, and gets a loud fly out from Scott Bandora straight to Matt Thomas in center on the first pitch he saw for out number 3. Back-to-back zeros on the scoreboard for the Big Train defense. Time to keep the offensive juice rolling. We'll see what they have in the bottom of the fifth coming up next on Big Train. After flashing the leather to end the top of the fifth, here comes Matt Thomas looking to flash the lumber a little bit. Had a big single last time at the dish. Looking to get right back to it. Got Foster all the way to third and takes the first pitch he sees straight up the middle.
How about that?
Back-to-back singles for Matt Thomas. He'll take a long round around first, but stay right there. And that's a good piece of hitting against Tucker Alch to make his way aboard to start off the bottom of the fifth.
Yeah, and it's a phenomenal piece of hitting for Matt Thomas. First pitch he saw, maybe coming out off the field, you're a little cold, but it comes in and slams it up the middle for a base hit. Not jammed at all.
He just has such an easy approach at the plate. The swing just looks effortless. No, it's not, of course. So runner on, nobody ahead. He is a dangerous base runner to have on as well. Probably not the most advertised part of his skill set, but certainly something he prides himself on as Pepe takes ball one high from Alch. Pepe has put a charge into a couple baseballs down the third base line, but Sprague Lott with a couple very nice plays to prevent Rocco from getting on base yet tonight. 2 5-3s in the books. Looking to avoid a similar fate here with no outs and a runner on ahead of him. Alch checks over on Thomas. Now comes home on the 1-0. Tipped off the end of Pepe's bat. Strike one. Pepe collects himself, now steps back into the box. Tight in on the plate. Alch looks back at Thomas. Now in at Pepe. And swinging and missing through that one is Pepe. And he'll take a long stride. Quick jog around the dish. Collect himself and get ready for the 1-2 here. Alch with a nice off speed on the outside corner there to get Pepe going around. A little bit out ahead of that one, perhaps thinking fastball. Now Alch ready for the 1-2. Here it comes. Swung on and missed again. Pepe goes down quickly on strikes, the first out here in the bottom of the fifth.
And that's not the at-bat you want in that situation. You want to get guys on and keep getting guys on. More traffic, so Tucker Alch has to pitch out of the stretch and has to worry about those base runners on the base pass. And that's just not what not a great at-bat there from Rocco Pepe.
Time to reflect as he heads back to the dugout. Sending up Danny Nerai, designated hitter tonight out of Notre Dame. He hit one very hard but straight at Kaplan in right field as another check from Alch on Thomas at first is unsuccessful in its obvious goal of getting Thomas out. Maybe just trying to keep the dangerous base runner Thomas close. He's perfect on the season in stolen bases with 3 on 3 attempts, as this one inside on Nerai for strike one. Tarkenton holding Thomas on at first. Close lead. Step or two off the start of the in-cut. Here's the 0-1 and Nerai inside with the breaking ball. 1 ball, 1 strike now. One to Nerai. Swung on, grounded towards Tarkenton at first, off of his glove, but foul all the way. 1-2. Nerai got the night off last night after a tough outing in Alexandria for him. 3 strikeouts in that one. 1-2 here from Alch. He fires inside, ball 2. Tough take there from Nerai. A little low as well. And he gets to do it again at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 5 RBI on the shortened season for Nerai, a later rival. Camper sets up slightly outside. And this one low for ball 3. 2 back-to-back really good takes from Nerai to work the count full on Alch.
And that just shows how top tier his vision is at the plate. Danny Neary spitting on two beautiful pitches from Tucker Alch that guys usually probably would swing at in that
Here's
situation.
the payoff pitch, swung on and sent foul. Nice barehanded play by DC Gray's player coming out of the dugout there. Neary taking a little phantom swing there, imagining the hip motion. And he'll work back into the box here. Adjust his grip on the bat, give it a waggle. Now comes set, wagging it off his shoulder. 3-2 from Alch. First a pickoff back on Thomas. Camper slightly outside in his setup. Ready again for the payoff pitch is Alch. Here it comes. Grounded sharply towards the second baseman, Vandenberg, who can't handle it. Throw gets past Tarkenton and all the way back to the dugout. Over to third is Thomas. Neary holds at first. Safe all around. Runners on the corners on the error by the second baseman, Patrick Vandenberg.
And that might be a pair of errors for Vandenberg there. Normally short-handed, and that is 2 errors on the play for Vandenberg.
Fielding error and a throwing error all on the same play. Fielding error allowed Neary to reach first. Throwing error lets Thomas down to second. And Grant Knipp with an RBI opportunity here with just 1 out. Big Train still trailing by 3. 7-4 here in the bottom of the 5th. And knocking on the door once more against the ever-dependent Tucker Alch. Throw back on Neary, very close, able to get that left hand back to the bag. Good tag there from Tarkenton to elicit some size from the DC dugout. First pitch to Knipp, here it comes. And a good pitch on the outside edge. Nice frame by Camper especially. 0-1.
You can't go down scoreless in this inning if you're the Big Train. This is an inning where you have to smell blood and get some runs in. Absolutely need to capitalize on these misjudgments, as the Grays have done in these past couple of innings.
Absolutely. 2 errors in this frame. Runners on the corners. Knipp swinging hard. Back pick on Neary. Not in time. Saw it coming. Dance back to the bag. Thomas threatening off third. Tough decision there from Camper to go down to first, but doesn't come back to bite him yet. 0-2 on Grant Knipp now after that hefty swing and miss. He comes set. Righty batter, righty pitcher. 0-2 in the count. Camper sets up slightly outside. Here it comes, swung on and grounded. Foul down the third base line. Count stays 0-2. And a feeble swing and miss there from Grant Knipp at a really great breaking ball from Alch. And Grant Knipp's the second out of this inning to bring up Nolan Shanuel.
And Shanuel could get into one here. He could drive in a run, and that is what he's thrived upon in this season, is having runners in scoring position and getting those runs in. Big, important ones for the Big Train.
Shanuel has had a successful season when it comes to bringing those runners home. 15 RBIs. Chance for at least 16 here. It's another throwback on Neary at first, keeping him close. 265 hitter, 422 on base percentage, 13 hits. As you said, 15 RBIs, 10 walks drawn, 8 runs scored, and 2 big flies on the season for the freshman All-American at Florida Atlantic. This one outside on the first pitch he sees of this at-bat from Alch. 1-0, pardon. Neary leads off first. Thomas close lead off third, and Alch will step back and get new signs in from Camper the catcher. It's a fun one to say a couple times. Camper the catcher, Camper the catcher, Camper the catcher. He comes set behind the dish, ready to take the 1-0 from Alch. Here it comes. And just on the outside edge, strike one on Sean Ewell.
She sells seashells by the seashore.
Peter Piper picked a peck of pickles.
It's pickled peppers. And you know you can't
what
say
you think.
toy boat 3 times fast without messing up.
Here's the 1-1 to Sean Ewell. He chops this one foul. Fielded by Tarkenton at first base. Sean Ewell works back into the box. Left-handed batting side.
Sean Ewell looking to be like Gurriel here. In
Ready to
Rocket
take the
One.
1-2 from Alch. And inside, good block from Camper to prevent another run coming home. Count goes 2 balls and 2 strikes. Steamy night here at Povich Field. Humidity working. Sean Ewell trying to make Alch sweat a little bit more. 2 balls, 2 strikes on the lefty first baseman. Long look in from Alch, right-handed pitcher out of Catholic. He comes set. And he fires quickly over to Nerai at first.
Nearly got him there.
He's nearly gotten him 2 or 3 times this inning. But so far, still safe on first is Nerai. So he works a 4-ish lead, 4-step lead off first. Close primary. Here's the 2-2. Sean Ewell gets under this one. High and well out of play. Off the top of the tennis wall thingy. I don't know exactly what you call it. The half wall. 2-2. Count stays where it was. And Sean Ewell set again. Now Alch's turn to set. Camper set up outside. Runner goes, and Sean Ewell laces this one up the right side. Thomas comes home to score. All the way to third goes Nerai, and it's a 2-run ball game, 7-5.
Keep on chipping away, partner, and that's what they've been doing exactly this entire game. A couple of runs are in here, and another big run to get back.
Nolan Sean Ewell gets the job done, moves the line right along. 16th RBI of the year for him, and the night might be done for Tucker Alch. Indeed it will be. New pitcher coming out of the right field pen. And Alch's day will be done after 4 2/3 inning. 1 run home here in the bottom of the 5th. 1 run home here in the bottom of the 5th. 2 runs potentially on the hook for Alch, who gets a well-deserved handshake line walking back. Still in position to be the pitcher of record, as we'll get a new arm out there on the bump for DC. Talking over the signs with Camper, the catcher. And now digs in that back foot to take his first warm-up pitches out of the stretch. It's going to be Joseph O'Connell, the 6', 200 righty, rising senior out of Harvard. Nashville, Tennessee, a learned man in the Crimson. Trying to learn his way out of this one. And I know, Tyler, you're anxiously awaiting the end of this inning.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think Bruce was as well.
O'Connell on the year, 6 appearances, 10 2/3 innings of work, 28 runs allowed, and 24 hits. I'm trying to wonder if that's maybe a typo in point streak. 19 of them earned, 4 walks, 6 strikeouts,
That doesn't
6
seem
doubles,
like it's
3
right.
triples in 6 outings, a 16.03. I guess, looking back through his appearance log, last pitched 3 days ago against Silver Spring Tacoma. 1 inning of work, 5 runs, just one of them earned. Faced 9 batters. Lowered the ERA despite allowing 5 runs, of course, with just the 1 earned. His worst outing of the year came back against South County on June the 16th, an 8-6 loss. 1 2/3 innings in there. He took the loss. 7 runs, all earned. 5 hits, 2 walks, 1 strikeout, and 13 batters faced. First batter he faces here tonight will be Brady Gump. He of 2 for 2 so far. And 2 very big singles situationally each time. Sean Ewell on first. Nip at third. Nerai at third, pardon. Thomas already home to score as the 5th batter to cross. And outside, 2-0, O'Connell starts with back-to-back balls.
O'Connell picking up the line just like he has before in other games, and he actually, got the loss way back in against South County back at home when he allowed 7 earned runs.
That's the game I just talked about. And Gump charges this one up the left side. That's going to get through, and that's going to be run number 6 as Nerai trots home from third easily. First and second, 2 outs as a hit recorded there from Brady Gump, who's 3 for 3 tonight with 3 singles.
Ben, the big train just don't want you to eat a cicada.
Remind me to give them each a very solid handshake, but only delaying the inevitable at this point. 2 outs for Christian Martin here with 2 on, and now just a 1-run game.
And that's
7-6, 10 hits now tonight for the big train.
And that's singles in 3 consecutive innings for Brady Gump. 2 of them, 2 consecutive RBI singles.
Brady Gump in the 8-hole, making this batting order churn as the wheels keep rolling. Big Train has very slowly, very steadily worked their way into this one. 1-3-2 now in the last 3 half innings. Breaking ball on the outside edge for strike 2 on Martin.
Comeback is still on.
Walked, struck out on a foul tip in the 4th. Down 0-2 to O'Connell. Interesting delivery for the Harvard man. Bends way over. Takes a long look in now to Camper. Shakes him off. Now comes set. I mean, he's got like almost a 45-degree bend in that back as he bends a breaking ball just outside. Really nice off-speed pitch there from O'Connell. Now he steps off, collects himself for a moment. Looking to prevent the 3rd run of this inning, which would be the tying run. Martin sends one up the right side, flipping over to O'Connell on a foot race to the bag, and he got him. Tarkenton to O'Connell for the 3-1 putout. And it's a race to the bag between Martin and O'Connell. Martin falls a step short. Big Train strand 2, but they get 2 more home to bring themselves within 1. It's 7-6 as we head to the top of the 6th here on Big Train TV with something special coming up. Just hold it.
Tyler Gallo taking over for this inning here on Big Train TV. But first, we have something very special.
You ready to go?
As we'll send it over to
You're gonna do this,
Ben
right?
Bobick and Bruce Adams in the press box.
So I'm here with Big Train founder Bruce Adams holding an air-fried cicada. I've got some Old Bay
here it is.
on my hand. Here it
got
comes.
the
We're going
Old
to
Bay.
toss it around a little bit
Move it around in
as
the Old Bay a little
Vandenberg
bit.
takes
There
the
you go.
first pitch for a ball one.
Just
I'm going
knock
to eat a
it back,
cicada
chew it up.
and do play-by-play of this baseball game at the same time. So here we go. This one's for you as this one's fouled back.
And he gets this
Kind of
wonderful
crunchy.
shirt.
Look at this wonderful shirt.
You will
Like
have
some Old Bay as a chaser.
the best T-shirt of the summer.
Not as
Congratulations.
crunchy as I would expect.
Well, it's been sitting around for a couple of days.
The Old Bay helps for sure.
I need the Old Bay.
1 and 2 on Vandenberg. Oh, I got the Old Bay here.
Thank you.
All right, 1 and 2 on Vandenberg. This one outside from Matt Howitt from the College of William and Mary. I've got my nice white shirt here. I'm going to do my best to not get some Old Bay on it. So you yourself can come out to Povich Field and get yourself an I ate a cicada in summer 2021 Brood X. They're parboiled, they're air fried, and still stuck in my teeth as this one's sent foul down the left side. Pepe giving chase. Foster, no play for him. Describe the taste? Old Bay. Which honestly, I'm not that upset about. It's got kind of the cicada-y taste. I can like compare it to something. I just can't think of what it is off the top of my head. I don't know what shrimp tastes like. I mean, I do, but
Ben, I think I'll have to say that if we get 350
fouled by
subscribers,
Vandenberg, 2 and 2. So this was, yeah, as you said, Tyler, this was all because we reached 200 subscribers on the Big Train TV YouTube channel as we work back here into the Dandy Walker Alliance broadcast booth. Tyler, thanks for helping me out there. Appreciate it. 2 and 2 on Vandenberg still. So this was all, I'm going to kind of like bend in here. This was all because we reached 200 subscribers on the Big Train TV YouTube channel. This one's laced right back up where it came from. No chance for Howitt, but a beautiful diving glove. Gauthier Martin coming over from second base prevented that one from getting into the outfield, but Vandenberg reaches on the single regardless. Again, for the third time, this is all because we reached 200 subscribers on Big Train TV. So thank you to all the viewers, to everyone out there for your support. It's been really cool to hear from you, to see all the wonderful messages every night. So thank you again for tuning in. If we get to 300, I'll make Tyler eat one too.
350. Let's do
350, okay. For now, it's Cam Buford showing bunt as the shortstop. He tips that one foul, and we'll get you back to your regularly scheduled program here on Big Train TV.
Back up here on Big Train TV as there's a pickoff chance. Second base, Tyler Gallo taking over for just a second as Ben gets situated here. Buford showed bunt, got the runner over, but no play was to be made there. And that'll bring up the catcher, Burt Camper, who is 0 for 2 today with a pair of strikeouts. And for the rest of the inning, it's Ben Bobick.
Yeah, really nice bunt.
Is that the third baseman, guys?
Really nice bunt attempt put down there by Cam Buford, as this one is in there for a strike on Camper, the catcher. They probably had a chance. Pepe was coming way up, maybe 25 feet back from the plate. Gloved that bunt perfectly, able to fire over to Sean Ewell at first to get Buford as the first out. Over to second goes Vandenberg after he lined a single. Thanks for sticking with us through that chaotic beginning to this inning, but some fun regardless. Again, thank you for your support as we've now surpassed 200 subscribers, a cicada-worthy moment. And again, just mostly tasted like Old Bay. I think I put enough on there. I do prefer Catalyst hot dogs as my meal of choice here at Povich Field, as this one is chopped to Sean Ewell at first. He'll fire over to Pepe, puts the tag over. I mean, that one I thought was going to bend foul, but straight off the bag into Sean Ewell's first baseman's mitt, and it's out number 2 on the 3U by Burt Camper, the catcher.
Yeah, nice play there by Sean Ewell. We know how slick his glove is at first base. He's been pretty solid, generally solid all season long.
So Vandenberg down to third here with 2 outs. Buford retired on the sacrifice bunt attempt. As I was saying, probably a chance for Pepe to get Vandenberg at second. They nearly did as he slid off the bag. It's strike one in now to Jared Sprague-Lott, the third baseman. 0-1, 2 outs, 7-6 ball game here in the top of the sixth. Big Train have made this one a heck of a lot closer as Matt Howitt looking to keep it that way. Really nice night of work for him. Last outing, Friday night down in Alexandria. Trying to get the Old Bay taste out of my mouth. Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball behind the catcher Nip. But no communication there between Sprague-Lott, the batter, and Vandenberg taking his lead off third. Not sure if he could get it. Not sure if he could get home safely.
As Glenn Frey once said, the heat is on for this DC Grays staff.
R.I.P. Glenn Frey.
So Matt Howitt into the game once again, and we've seen some great performances out of the bullpen this year from Matt Howitt. Really earned a late inning role, and a guy that keeps the game close.
I thought it was going to be crispier, I'll be honest.
Maybe Bruce didn't air fry it enough, Ben.
Here's the two. Well, it's been sitting out for a little bit. I mean, this is the kind of end of the batch. If you want your Ieta Cicada at Shirley Povich Field t-shirt, you got to get them quick. I think I got the last 2XL of the bunch. As Howitt comes set, front leg forward for the 3-1. Nicely on the outside edge of the plate to send the count full on Sprague-Lott. Howitt ready. Here comes the 3-2. Little low, ball 4. Runners on the corners with 2 outs for the so far dangerous Tanner Saguspi.
And a big strikeout last time by Kemper Alderman to get him. So he'll look to do that once more here, but Matt Howitt style.
Vandenberg started off the inning. Sharp single up the middle. Advanced to second on the sacrifice bunt laid down by Buford. Then over to third on the ground ball by Camper to Shanuel for the 3U and the second out of this inning. He stands 90 feet away from an important insurance run for DC here with 2 outs in the top of the 6th. Strike 1 in there to Saguspi. Howitt ready to deliver, nothing in 1. And it's nothing in 2 now as this one way foul towards the picnic pavilion. Out of play. Oh, and 2 to Saguspi, who struck out swinging his last time at bat. Single and a triple with 3 RBIs before that. Howitt set. Checks over on the run at first. Now comes home outside, getting a chance for Saguspi to chase. He does not. 1-2. Home plate umpire cleaning his plate a little bit there as Saguspi takes a warm-up swing. Howitt ready again for the 1-2. Here it comes outside. Count is even. Matt Howitt out of the College of William and Mary. Sparkling 8th inning of setup for Jesse Barron to get the save in that 5-2 win over Alexandria Friday night. He gets a fly ball off the bat of Saguspi into right center field. Gump coming in, and he handles it pretty easily. So 2 runners stranded for DC here in the top of the 6th. 3rd consecutive 0 on the scoreboard in the 4th, the 5th, and the 6th for the Big Train bullpen. And they'll have a chance to get the tying run home when we come back. For the bottom of the 6th, here on Big Train TV, your home for Big Train baseball and air fried cicada. Austin Gauthier to lead off for the fourth at-bat of his night. Had a big 2 RBI double to get this thing a little bit closer back in the fourth. Facing O'Connell out there, looking for his first full inning of work. Faced 2 batters in the bottom of the fifth. Allowed an RBI single to Brady Gump and got Martin to end things. Stranded a couple big train runners as well.
Yeah, that might stand as the momentum shifter in this game, that double that really got the big train going. And they're now 1 run behind after being down 7-0.
This one, beautiful off speed from O'Connell. 1-2 on Gauthier. O'Connell in that funky pitching windup. And he gets another off speed on the outside edge. A little bit of a almost eephus-y curve, way off speed, but still bending over the outside edge for a strike 3 looking on Austin Gauthier.
That's just nasty from O'Connell. Really nothing that he could do about that one, but just look. Sometimes that's how it happens.
Almost a nod of the head and okay from Gauthier as he
It's like, I'll get you next time.
headed back to the dugout. Again, that big 2 RBI double. That's another bender in there from O'Connell for strike 1. He really does have that breaking stuff working well so far.
Absolutely, and that's what you want to see after he's had some rough appearances this season. Coming in and spinning, just excellent.
Certainly has the stuff that we've seen so far. 2 for 3 on the night is Foster. 2 singles. Stranded both times at third base. And a ground out to the second baseman in the fourth. 7-6-3, 6-10-3 hits, or runs, hits, errors across both sides. 7-6 DC lead here with 1 out, bottom 6, as that's ball 2 inside on Foster. Now takes again for ball 3. We talked about good eyes on the team. Darius Foster right up there with everyone else. So 3-1 now from O'Connell into Foster. High, it's ball 4, and Darius Foster will take his base.
And take his second base too, most likely. New pitcher in, he has the freedom to move a little bit more without Ouch having that big pickoff move.
Matt Thomas, 2 for his last 2 with 2 singles. He chops one sharply to the third baseman, and his streak will end right there as he grounds in to a 5-4-3 double play to erase the walk from Darius Foster and end the 6th inning. For the big train, no hits, no runs across, no errors for DC defensively, and no runners left on base. After the inning-ending double play, it's 7-6 DC. Top of the 7th coming up after our word from our friends at the Dandy Walker Alliance.
1 in 10,000 children are born with a brain malformation known as Dandy Walker syndrome. Dandy Walker can cause enlargement of the skull, lack of muscle control, and other developmental challenges. More research is needed, but we do know that early therapy helps many live healthier, fuller lives. 1 in 10,000 may not seem like a lot unless your child is the one. Learn more, find help, and help others. Visit dandy-walker.org.
First baseman Jay Tarkenton starting things off for DC here in the top of the 7th. Ben Bobek and Tyler Gallo fresh off some cicada eating in the top of the 6th
And some ice cream eating as well.
here in the Dandy Walker Alliance broadcast booth.
And I've been advised by Sean Salehi, the PA announcer, to let you guys know that is Venus over center field.
Where?
If you can see,
Oh, okay. Yeah. Not showing up on the cameras, but definitely visible just to the left of that right field.
I was like, it's one of those iridium flares or whatever, and he's like, no, it's quite literally Venus.
It's Venus, yeah. 2-1 to Tarkenton from Matt Howard on for his second inning of work. Slow windup. Here it comes. And a foul ball back into the screen behind home plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Tarkenton RBI double to score Seguspy in the 2nd. Reached on an error and came around to score in the 3rd. This one's outside to send the count full. Flew out to Gump in right back in the 5th inning. 4th plate appearance of the night. 3rd at bat. And he works the count full. Here's the 3-2 from Howitt. And count was wrong, evidently. It was 2-2. Now it's 3-2. Scoreboard having a rough night tonight. That's mea culpa for trusting in him, as it's now 3-2. Here comes the payoff pitch from Howitt. Tapped foul up the first base line.
And sometimes they'll have rough nights. You never know when it's going to happen, though.
All about the learning experience here at Povich Field. Everybody has an off night. Big Train looking to avoid having a second consecutive off night. Here's the 3-2 from Howitt. Again, harshly foul into the back screen. Count stays. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Into that slow working windup. And fouling the 3rd straight pitch back into the screen is Jay Tarkenton. He has made Matt Howitt work in this at-bat.
Working really hard here, and, Howard just trying to get through a second inning of work.
Certainly not hardly working like ourselves up here. Here's the 3-2. Swung on and missed. Finally getting the strikeout of Jay Tarkenton is Matt Howitt. And a great way to start off the top of the 7th.
And you can only fight him off for so long, Put together a very good at-bat, but not at this rate.
Beautiful off-speed pitch there from Howitt out of William & Mary again. A little off-speed and a feeble swing from Tarkenton for the 3rd strike and the first out of this inning. Ball 1 in there to Peter Costigan, the designated hitter. Now ball 2 low. Howard, a very methodical delivery. When he's in the stretch, has that front foot forward. A little bit of a hop step, and this one straight off the bat of Costigan. And it's an L1 for the designated hitter. Reflexes by Matt Howitt, robbing a hit right there.
Would you give that one an exclamation point, Ben?
Certainly.
That one was phenomenal. I mean, it's always tough to get the ball come back to. It's the first L1 we've seen all season. Matt Howitt, I was going to talk about his delivery. He hides that ball.
Jacob DeGrom-esque.
Yeah, hides that ball until the last possible second.
Yeah, I think we talked about that. I believe it was him. We talked about that, or maybe it was one of the Alexandria batters that was able to keep that lefty arm all the way around, or one of the Alexandria pitchers, rather. But he keeps that arm tucked all the way back, It's a very slow couple of first steps in the windup. And then once he's kind of ready to come around, just quickly whipping that pitching arm over.
And that's
As a
part of-
1-1 count here on Sam Kaplan, the right fielder. 9-hole hitter.
And that's part of what makes Matt Howitt so effective out there on the mound. It makes it seem like the ball's coming out of his arm, coming out of his jersey, not exactly out of the hand. And it's not over the top either. He's more three-quarters guy. So it's really, really deceptive. And we've dissected his delivery almost all year long. But I have to say that he's been one of the most fascinating pitchers on the mound.
A couple really interesting arms all up and down this big train staff as it's
We
now
lost
2-2
one of them,
on
too.
Kaplan.
Unfortunately.
This one tipped over Grant Knipp's head back in the screen.
What I was
2-2 with 2 outs.
alluding to, Ben, is our good friend Jesse Barron will be heading home. He's reached his innings limit as he pitched. I think he pitched a lot at San Francisco this year. Pretty reliable out of the pen, and wish him the best.
Here's
as
a
he heads back
2-2
home.
from Howitt. Good breaking ball. Tempting Kaplan on the outside edge. Ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes now. Sad to see Jesse depart. Pitched admirably in his time here with the big train. Next man up mentality is Kaplan pokes this one over the right field. That was a animated, again, that backyard baseball sound effect. Hopefully not somebody's actual windshield.
Well, and finished with a flourish. Got a 1-2-3 save in Alexandria, and then headed home. So Jesse
Went out
Barron-
with some style. Here's the 3-2. Again, fouled into the screen. Count stays full.
And we'll see how Coach Sal utilizes his bullpen going forward. He's got a lot of guys available, guys that can go a couple innings as well. Braley's available, Tchaikovsky's available, Robinson and Metz. And I'm going to have to say that it's either one of Braley or Robinson out of the bullpen next.
Haven't seen Jack Braley in a while. Here's a 3-2 from Howitt. A little bit too far outside. And it's ball 4
Haven't seen
to Kaplan.
Ryan Metz in a while either. Or Danny Tchaikovsky. He's had some couple of appearances.
Checo was up and mulling around last night. I don't know if he ever got to throwing as Bandora, the center fielder, back to the plate for the 5th time tonight.
Checo, a returning big train player.
Started off nicely, reaching base in 2 consecutive at-bats, or 2 consecutive plate appearances, rather. Hit by a pitch and scored in the 1st. Walked, scored in the 3rd, then flew out to Darius Foster and left to end the 3rd. Flew out to center in the 5th. Looking to avoid a 3rd consecutive put out here. He takes ball 1. Now breaking ball outside for strike 1. Nice location there from Howitt. Tarkenton struck out swinging to start. Costigan with a sharp hit ball straight back where it came from into the mitt of Matt Howitt for an L1. Kaplan on base via the base on balls. He leads off first. As it's ball 2 to Bandora. 6'4", 170. Bats left, throws right out of Princeton. A couple Ivy League guys up and down this roster. And he comes around hard on the 2-1 pitch. Even the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes here with 2 outs in the top of the 7th. Howitt comes set out of the stretch. Front foot forward. Kicks, delivers a 2-2. Check swing. Yes, he did. Ball in the dirt. Throw down from Nip to Shanuel. It's a 2-3 put out. On the drop, 3rd strike. Matt Howitt allows the base on balls with 2 outs, but gets Bandora to go around for the 3rd out of the inning. It's 7-6 and time to stretch. Middle of the 7th here at Povich Field. Jay O'Connell. As this one hit sharply by Pepe, way out of here, but way foul. Back out there. Third inning of work, completed 1 1/3 so far. Pretty seamless. Bottom of the 6th for him, looking to keep this 1 run alive for the DC bullpen as Pepe gets a hard hit ball straight to Bandura in center field. So a couple really nice pieces of contact for Rocco so far tonight, but nothing landing.
Big Train just 1 run behind. This is a close game here, and we'll have to see if they can come back here, especially with the meat of the order coming up. Nerai, Nip, and Sean Ewell. 3 big bats.
3 big bats, 3 bats that can all tie this game with 1 single swing. As Nerai takes that one, breaking ball inside. If O'Connell hangs one, as we said, each of those 3 fellas on deck and in the hole and at bat, not necessarily in that order, can put a charge into one as Nerai takes ball 2 on a breaking ball that didn't quite break enough. Hung a little bit too high there.
All you need is a bloop and a blast to take the lead here. Or, in this case, a walk and a blast.
Nerai looking at one inside and sends that one foul up the right side of the field. No game tomorrow night. Day off. Postponed game Tuesday night from last Monday. As Nerai will even the count with a foul ball up the left side. South County coming back to town. Fireworks, not thunder.
Sure hope not.
I don't think so. Nope. Certainly a little bit repetitive for Thunder. 2-2 to Nerai. South County will come to town the 29th. Big Train heading down to Lorton to face the Braves Wednesday night. Little impromptu home and home. Done that twice now after next week. If you do have tickets, if you're out there and watching the stream tonight, you do have tickets for that postponed game on the 21st. They are valid for Tuesday night's game as Nerai takes the pitch in the full count. Very high, very foul towards the Big Train bullpen. Count stays full. Nerai finally reached on an error by the second baseman Vandenberg. And came all the way around to score back in the 5th inning. Strikeout and a fly out as he strikes out swinging for the second out here in the bottom of the 7th. So Grant Knipp back to the dish. Scored after reaching on a hit by pitch also in the 4th inning. Going to avoid back-to-back strikeouts here after going down chopping in the 5th. Takes ball 1 from Jay O'Connell. Joseph O'Connell. And swings and misses. A little bit of a change-up there from O'Connell. Nip a little bit ahead of that one. It's 1-1. O'Connell leans in. Camper sets up well outside. That's a fastball for ball 2.
Lots of fireworks. It's not 4th of July yet, guys.
A couple days away.
We have a couple of days off for that.
Big Train will host Independence Night Eve on the 3rd. Silver Spring Tacoma in town Saturday night. Sunday and Monday, the 4th and 5th. Off for now. We'll see what the weather has in store for us this week as Nip works the count to 3-1. And this one over the plate. Nip thought it was ball 4. Instead, count goes full. Sarcastic applause perhaps from the DC dugout. Some nice rhythmic clapping. Here's the 3-2. Nip stands ready out of the stretch. O'Connell. Ball low, outside, in the dirt.
Tremendous.
And Nip takes his base.
Tremendous at bat there for Grant Nip to get on, and all you need is one swing to take the lead.
Tying run aboard. Go ahead run at the plate in the form of Nolan Shanuel. 2 home runs on the year. Sharp hit single in the 4th and the 5th. An RBI on the books already. Kemp sets up outside. Ball 1.
Day off.
Two outs here in the bottom of the 7th. Big Train down by 1. Shanuel takes one over the heart of the plate. 1-1. And he gives this one a charge. Deep center field, but under it is Bandora. It's allowed out number 3 for Nolan Shanuel. And the Big Train still trail by 1 run. We head to the top of the 8th here at Povich Field. Big Train strand 1 in the bottom of the 7th. And we'll look to keep it that way. The top of the 8th coming up next. Patrick Vandenberg leading off an inning for DC again. However, not eating a cicada this time is myself. So a little bit better look at the action this time around. You can find a replay of that moment, tonight's full game, along with every game and highlights from each game on Big Train TV. Make sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe, and set the alerts for notifications when we post new videos on that channel. I don't know. Okay, whatever. Ball 1 outside to Vandenberg. Checks his swing. Called strike. Not on the swing. 1-1 regardless. Ryan Metz out of Virginia Tech. In for his 5th appearance this season with the Big Train. A Big Train veteran. As this one a little high off the glove of Nip. To the backstop. Cam Buford on deck. Burke Camper in the hole. Vandenberg looking to lead off with a base knock in his 2nd appearance in a row. 6 2/3 innings. As this one outside. 3-1 on the second baseman Vandenberg. 6 2/3 innings for Metz. 4 hits, no runs, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, a 1-0 record. And this one dings off the net support to the left of home plate. Count goes full, 3-2 on the first batter Metz sees.
I'm looking for Metz to just settle in here and fire off 2 scoreless innings and keep the Big Train in this one and potentially get a win. Some late inning heroics are on the cards.
Hasn't pitched since the 16th as he gets a foul tip into the glove of Nip and the first strikeout of his night from Vandenberg.
A couple of sacrifices to the line tonight for Cam Buford.
Sacrifice RBI to score Bandura in the first. Sacrifice bunt to get Vandenberg over to second in that 6th inning. So he taps this one foul up the first base line, strike 1. A lot of fireworks out there in wherever they may be.
Bethesda.
They're in the Bethesda night. Hope you're enjoying your night wherever you may be. Thank you as always for tuning in here to Big Train TV. DC 7, Big Train 6th. 1 out, top of the 8th. And 0-2 now on Cam Buford. He sends that one way over our heads into the deep Bethesda night. Foul. Well out of play. Towards the parking lot. Metz, glove at his face, over the head, kicks, delivers the 0-2 high, ball 1. Metz, as we said, rising senior at Virginia Tech. 6'1", 190 righty. And this one in the dirt, but rings up Buford anyways. Back-to-back outs for Ryan Metz. And he'll face Burke Camper for the first time tonight.
2 phenomenal strikeouts for Ryan Metz here, and exactly what you want to see. He's a sight for sore eyes coming out of the bullpen. A nice guy that can go out there and get you some outs.
Now into his windup for the first pitch to Camper. In there, strike 1. Ryan Metz just dealing. I postured to you when he came in to start his warm-up pitches. Maybe on for 6 clean outs here at the back end of this game. Perhaps the 8th and the 9th his. See what the plan is down the stretch of this game. The windup for the 0-1. Swung on and missed by Camper. And Metz is working. Into the windup. Here comes the 0-2. Swung on and missed. Meet the Mets, DC. He strikes out the side in the top of the 8th. It's a 1-run game. Big Train coming to the bat looking to tie it. First pitch low and outside to Brady Gump from a new pitcher for DC. Trying to double check the name. Not sure if we have the correct roster or not. Listed as number 15, not the number 15 on their traditional lineup. It's Donovan Freyer, we're told. And he works a 1-1 count on the right fielder Gump to start. Outside again, 2-1.
3.1 solid innings there for O'Connell, too.
Really did a good job of hanging on to that lead for DC, 2-1. 5'10", 175. Lefty as Gump hits one high down the left field line. Working over there, and it's gone! Brady Gump ties the game with his second home run of the year. Takes the lefty deep down the left field line, and that one is into the woods. It's 7-7.
Home run, Forrest. Home run for Brady Gump. What a shot off the bat. That ball was scorched into the Bethesda Knight, and the Big Train have tied it.
High and deep, curling to the left field wall. Not sure if it was going to make it. The left fielder, Seguspie, tried to make a play on it. A wall scraper, but into the forest by a decent amount. And Brady Gump with his second solo shot of the year. And this one is timely, as we'll get a pinch hitter here at the plate. It's Kyle Velasquez in for Christian Martin.
What a shot there. Huge clutch home run for Brady Gump. And he's 4 for 4 tonight. He's bidding for player of the game. 3 RBI, home run, tying home run. I think he's our player of the game tonight, regardless of what happens in this one.
Certainly a breakaway lead for Gump. And man, what a game he has had, as you said. 3 for 3 coming into that at bat. 3 singles, 2 RBIs. And how about a monster game-tying home run pulled into the Bethesda Knight to tie the ball game at 7. And Kyle Velasquez with no outs, bases empty, and a brand new game here at Povich Field will come in as a pinch hitter and look to keep the juice going. This run runs inside past the glove of Camper, and a called strike to even the count. 1 ball, 1 strike on Velasquez out of St. Mary's.
Yeah, Donovan Freyer greeted rudely into this one.
Freyer, a local kid, Bishop McNamara High School, Upper Marlboro, Maryland.
Out of Shorter
Plays
University?
for the Shorter Hawks. Couldn't tell you where that is. And Velasquez grounds this one foul up the left side.
I'll give that to you right now, Ben.
Favorite food is the crab. I can tell you that.
It's
Earl
in Georgia.
Spence Jr. Okay. Seems like the grand finale is on.
Looking for a shorter fly ball on that home run.
Yeah. Utility guy at shorter, outfielder and left-handed pitcher, as this one is frozen outside 2-2. Valiant effort on the frame there by Camper. Only 1 pitching appearance at shorter this year, and didn't record an out in that one. We're trying to work a little bit better here. Inside, and Velasquez gives this one a ride. Deep left field, at the wall, and makes the catch all the way against the fence. Seguspie had a long way to go for that one, and Velasquez thought he just put the Big Train ahead.
Scored that one an EFO there, Ben.
My Lord, that thing rocketed off his bat louder than the Brady Gump home run. And Seguspie able to settle under this one for a very loud, very exclamatory out number 1.
And hoping for some fireworks of his own there was Kyle Velasquez, as we hear several fireworks in the distance celebrating the Big Train tying this game, I hope. Lineup turns. You know what, Aaron? I don't want to hear it. Lineup turns over for Austin Gauthier.
Gauthier with some pop in that bat of his own. He has one of the bigger hits of the night before that Gump home run with that 2 RBI double in the fourth to score Nip and Sean Ewell. Cut that DC lead significantly back then before Brady Gump finished what the rest of this offense had started, as this one bounces well short for ball one on Gauthier. Other than that, 0 for 2 with a sacrifice. Ground out to the third baseman to start the game, and a strikeout looking on a great breaking ball from O'Connell. It's 1-1 now to Gauthier. Big Train looking to make even more noise than they've already done with 2 very loud hits. 1 out for a solo game-tying home run, and 1 to pretty much as deep as it could be. And the Bethesda Big Train have tied the lead here, 7-7 in the bottom of the 8th. Could change the perplexion of the top of the 9th very quickly, as Gauthier tried to do just that, ripping through one, tipping it into the dirt and foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes on number 31 in green.
I mean, just a clutch home run there. No doubt about it. That was phenomenal.
Freyer set for the 2-2 outside, and the count runs full.
Freyer's got a live arm, though. I will say that. He's got some good speed to his pitches.
Takes a long look in to get the sign from Camper. Lefty comes set, hands low at the belt, now fires. High, ball 4. And Gauthier is on base for the second time tonight, this time via the base on balls.
Yeah, just a great at-bat there for Gauthier as the Big Train try to get the lead here in this game. Nothing more you could ask for in that situation.
Darius Foster coming to the bat now. He's had a back-and-forth night. Started out 2 for 2 with 2 singles, 0 for 1 since. Walked, was caught up in the double play in the 6th, grounded out to Vandenberg at second in the 4th. 1 out, runner on first. First pitch to Foster outside. Keeps that bat solid. It's 1-0.
And probably one of our favorite hitters to watch here, just the way he goes to work and gets on base.
His approach at the plate is Freyer set, ready to deliver the 1-0 to Darius Foster. Instead, he'll take a very soft lefty move back to check on Gauthier at first. And this one runs outside again. 2 balls, no strikes on the speedy Foster.
Foster just has a knack for getting on base. I mean, we talk about it almost ad nauseum, but phenomenal way to get on base here if he can get on.
He has been an on-base machine in his season so far, 463 on-base percentage. And a stone-cold take similar to that of Jack Cohn as he works the count to 3 balls and no strikes. Freyer set now for the 3-0. Lefty kicks, delivers, and in there for strike one on Foster, who still has a hefty hitter's count on him. 3-1. Freyer taking his time. Now winds, delivers, and a little check swing foul, and the count is full on Foster.
Great at bat, regardless of how you slice it for Darius Foster, who's had a knack for doing that this year.
Some clapping starting around a very nice Povich Field crowd. Here's the 3-2. High in the air to Foster. Buford, the shortstop, under it. Coming in is Seguspie from left. It'll be Buford's baseball. He'll settle under it to pop out to the shortstop for out number 2 for Foster. Here in the bottom of the 8th. Velazquez stays on at first base. And that will bring up Matt Thomas, or Gauthier rather, at first base. Pardon me.
Just got under that one. Didn't drive it as far as he probably would have liked it to. And fortunately for him, now there's 2 big outs in the scoreboard, but the game is tied.
If there's a man who can deliver, who knows how to deliver a very clutch hit for this Big Train team, it's Matt Thomas. A huge 3-run home run back in the 2019 Championship Series in the 8th inning with the Big Train trailing. 1 on, 2 outs, and a big opportunity at the bat for Matt Thomas. Freyer comes set on the 1-0, high and outside, ball 2.
Back to that home run, I mean, Gump just, that ball kept going and going and going, and it got out of here, which is awesome for Gump, who's just really had a great couple of games now. If the Big Train offense can't pick things up, he's been out there and doing it for them.
Thomas will try to work this at bat as long as he can. Back pick on Gauthier at first. Not in time as he scampers back. And it's 3-0 now to Thomas after that pitch ran up high and inside. You putting the green light on here for Thomas?
I'd say so. I mean, while the pitcher, Freyer, hasn't really shown a way to hit the zone, he's been able to really... Thomas is a guy that can capitalize on a mistake.
Here it comes, 3-0. Outside, no green light necessary, as it's a 4-pitch walk to the 3-hole hitter, Matt Thomas. 2 on, 2 out for Rocco Pepe.
And after a nice night last night for Pepe, despite the rough game altogether, you know, Pepe's been 0 for 4 tonight.
0 for 4 with a couple of really nice pieces of contact for Hey Rocco.
His hot dog named after him.
Right on time. There is Chris Van Jura down in the Catalyst cart, letting him know. Limited time, the Hey Rocco specialty hot dog through the end of this week here at Povich Field. Something special in the works from Chris down there to follow it up. It's tough to follow that first act, but after getting a little sneak preview, I have the utmost faith in Chris as Pepe sets to take the first one outside in the dirt.
Yeah, we'll have to try that. Hey, Rocco dog. It's going out of the way here soon, but get yours while you still can.
Pepe, as you said, 0 for 4, 2 groundouts to the third baseman, a strikeout, and a fly out to center. Camper sets up high over the middle of the plate, and it ends up a little bit too far outside. Couple balls off the dish there. It's 6 straight balls now from Donovan Freyer, the lefty.
He's probably happy. He's on at Texas A&M right now. They'd be letting him hear it.
Checks back on Gauthier at second. This run runs inside on Pepe. 3-0. That's 7.
Ball 7. Ball 7. I mean, they could have said that for Hassan Akil.
8 walks for Akil in a tough outing down in D.C. Trying to avoid back-to-back bases on balls is Freyer here. Set for the 3-0. He kicks and delivers inside. Maybe caught the shirt of Pepe a little bit, but regardless, it's the bases juiced for Danny Nerai.
Nerai can stroke one here up the middle. Big Train would have a lead.
And it's not going to be Freyer's turn to retire him, as Reggie Terry will stride out, gesture to the bullpen, and make a call for some relief help. Freyer gets the first 2 outs, allows the game-tying home run to Brady Gump, and leaves on the hook potentially for 3 more runs with the bases loaded. All 3 via the base on balls. A new arm coming out of the bullpen for DC in just a moment. So Frank Kraska will be in to try and keep this game tied. Wearing number 33 in Navy for DC tonight. 6'2", 215, rising senior out of Lafayette, Gibsonia, PA native, another Pittsburgh area. 6 appearances on the year, 11 2/3 innings of work, 11 runs, 17 hits. And the first one, a breaking ball in there beautifully to Nerai for strike 1. 1 walk, 15 strikeouts. So certainly has the stuff. An 0-2 record, 1 save, 3 doubles, 1 triple, an 8.48 ERA for Kraska.
Pittsburgh
Big
squad
righty.
runs deep on this team.
Comes set, hands at the belt. Another bender, a little bit too far outside. You can certainly, just from the 2 pitches we've seen, plus the warm-ups, see the quality of his stuff. It's going to be about his command in this moment. A big moment with Nerai at the dish. 3 runners on, all via the walk from Donovan Freyer. Here's the 1-1. Outside, Nerai takes ball
now,
2.
Ben, do you think Ryan Metz stays on for the 9th if it's
I do.
tied? Or do
I
you
think he stays on regardless.
regardless?
I don't see much warming up down the left field line. And I think the plan was from the get-go when Metz came into the game to have him go 2. Here's the 2-1 from Kraska outside. Ball 3. And here's a really tough situation. We talked about the 3-0 possibility of a green light for Matt Thomas. How about for Danny Nerai here on 3-1?
He's walked the plank here, has Kraska, and we'll see. Well, I mean, walked the plank did Freyer, Donovan Freyer, before this, but now on the end of the plank.
Here's the 3-1. In there. Strike two. Count is full.
This is the moment every kid.
I think Nerai was taken all the way.
Yeah, I think this is the moment every kid dreams of right here. Tie game in the 8th. Bases loaded. 2 outs, 3-2.
2 outs. Bottom of the 8th. 3 balls. 2 strikes on the designated hitter, Danny Nerai. Camper sets up outside. Here it comes. Check swing. No, he did not. Ball 4, and the Big Train lead 8-7.
Things are just unraveling here for. We said this earlier for the Big Train, and now all of a sudden, they are the ones doing the unraveling. The fray has been frayed.
Danny Nerai looks at the pitch outside, gave a quarter swing, instead takes the 4th walk of this inning, and it's a go-ahead run home. Gauthier trots the final 90 feet. Thomas over to 3rd, Pepe to 2nd, Nerai down at 1st. It's 8-7 Big Train as Grant Knipp comes up hacking at strike 1.
What a comeback. What a comeback for the Big Train. Down 7 runs, they score 8 unanswered. They were never out of it at any point.
Has held DC scoreless since the start of the 4th inning as Kraska wants a new sign from Camper. He sets up for the 0-1 on Knipp. Outside in the dirt. Good block there by Camper to prevent any more damage as of now. 2 runs home. Pardon. Here in the bottom of the 8th as the Big Train take an 8-7 lead. Sean Uell on deck, 2 outs. And a 1-1 count on the catcher, Grant Knipp. He takes one over the middle, 1-2.
You'd love some insurance for Ryan Metz in the 9th, but we know how good he is of a pitcher, and a 1-run lead shouldn't faze him too much.
Thomas off 3rd, Pepe off 2nd, Nerai off 1st. Here's the 1-2. Lined right back to the pitcher off of Kraska's mitt. Nobody's there at second base. Grant Knipp reaches, and it's another insurance run home as Thomas trots home. RBI for Grant Knipp. 9-7 Big Train.
Wow. Literally within inches of ending the inning was Kraska. But instead, the Big Train have a 2-run lead.
Is that an error flashed on the board? Yes, thank you. E1. It hit off of Kraska's mitt. Knipp lined that straight back to the mound, off of Kraska's mitt, rolled to where Vandenberg would be sitting in second base, but Vandenberg was racing to the second base bag to cover, and nobody was there to pick up the ball trickling onto the infield dirt. Knipp reaches first safely, and bases still loaded. A 9-7 lead here for Bethesda, potentially 3 outs away from a huge comeback win.
And it would make them 15-3 on the season, Ben. 15 of your first 18 is pretty good. Is that good? I don't know. Is that good?
Sean Uell pulls this one foul down the first base line. I'm going to go ahead and say that it's pretty good. Pretty good. 1-1 on first baseman Nolan Sean Uell. 2 for 4 tonight, 2 singles and an RBI. And he swings and misses, trying to clear the bases with 1 swing there. And again, count goes to 1-2 from Frank Kraska.
I didn't know we were at the U.S. Open. 'Cause he tried to golf that one.
4 right. Instead, ball trickles back to Camper for strike 2. Kraska comes set. Takes a long look in. Camper sets up outside. Tipped by Sean Uell back into Camper's mitt, and he goes down swinging for the 3rd out. But it's 2-3 huge runs for the Big Train. Just 1 hit. But those ever-important runs come home. 3 runners left aboard, 1 error by DC defensively. It's a 9-7 lead. 3 outs away from Victory Station here on Big Train TV. But first, a word from our sponsors. Dandy Walker.
1 in 10,000 children are born with a brain malformation known as Dandy Walker syndrome. Dandy Walker can cause enlargement of the skull, lack of muscle control, and other developmental challenges. More research is needed, but we do know that early therapy helps many live healthier, fuller lives. 1 in 10,000 may not seem like a lot unless your child is the one. Learn more, find help, and help others. Visit dandy-walker.org.
Couple of defensive substitutions behind pitcher of record Ryan Metz back onto the bump for his second inning of work. Trevor Doyle in for Foster in left. Matt Thomas slides from center to right. Stone Cold Jack Cohn, after an excellent pitching performance last night, trying to use that left arm for different purposes out in center. Kyle Velazquez, after pinch hitting for Christian Martin, stays in at the second base spot. It's strike one from Ryan Metz in on Jared Sprague-Lott. And before I can even finish his long name, swing and a miss for strike two.
And a great song to warm up to for the ninth inning. How about that?
Here's the 0-2. And able to get a piece of that one, lifting it foul over the first base grandstand towards the parking lot. 0-2 still. Metz, glove over his face, hands high, kicks, delivers, swung on, hit high in the air, and again out of play to the right side. 2 straight strikes, 2 straight fouls, 4 pitches in this at bat so far from Metz to Sprague-Lott. 9-7 big train after 3 massive runs in the bottom of the 8th. 9 unanswered for Bethesda. Here's the 0-2. Good location. That missed somewhere. And it's 1-2.
So
not sure where.
As it stands, Metz would be on hook for the win, and Freyer would be on hook for the loss.
All 3 earned runs attributed to Freyer. Metz into the windup for the 1-2. And again, just outside, trying to get Sprague-Lott to chase. It's 2-2, count even. Metz, here he comes. Swing and a miss. 4 straight strikeouts to start the evening for Ryan Metz as he gets Sprague-Lott to go down on strikes for the second time tonight. All 4 of those strikeouts via the front-facing K swinging.
And since he entered the game, I mean, it's just been ominous for this opposition. And coupled with Hell's Bells playing for the ninth inning, I think Ryan Metz just needs to keep on putting in work here.
Tanner Seguspy, left fielder, made a great catch on that Kyle Velazquez deep fly ball. Not quite the big fly from Brady Gump that tied this game. Swings through the first pitch from Metz there, already back into his windup. Working quickly. Check swing. Yes, he did, says the first base umpire. And right back to 0-2.
What an outing this has been. It's phenomenal.
Metz, sleeves rolled up, shakes off the sign from Nip. Long look in to the catcher, and he'll reset. Practice swing from Seguspy. Now taps the plate. Gives the bill of that batting helmet a tug. Metz comes set into the windup for the 0-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 9th.
And almost Trevor Hoffman-esque striking out all these batters here in these last 2 innings. This is just incredible to watch. What a game this has been, Ben.
Simply sensational since the 4th inning for the big train. And looking to close it out here. 2 outs in the top of the 9th. Jake Tarkenton at the plate. Struck out swinging in the 7th. And a breaking ball, a little too far inside. And Ryan Metz loses the perfect appearance as he runs that one off the arm of Tarkenton. And he'll face Peter Costigan. Still looking for that 3rd out with a runner on now.
And Costigan is 1 for 3 today, and would be tough for him to. Would be tough. It's a big situation for him. We'll see what he's up to in this.
RBI single in the 3rd, reached on a walk in the 5th. Had that scorcher straight back to Howitt in the 7th. This one inside, strike 1. Out of the stretch. Here's Metz. 0-1, a little low. 1 ball, 1 strike on the designated hitter, Peter Costigan. 6'3", 200 senior at Charlesburg. Leesburg, Virginia native. Set to face the 1-1 here from Mets. Swing and a miss. And the DC Grays are down to their final strike.
Claps starting to begin here, Ben. These fans haven't had a lot to cheer about until the later innings, and they would be very happy with a win.
Mets gets the sign from Nip. Comes set at the belt. Here it comes. Fouled back. Heads up. Sam Kaplan on deck. And we'll do it again. Nothing more than a little bit of building tension here at Povich Field. Heads up in the on-deck area near the water cooler there from DC. Home plate umpire will let the tension build for a second more as he wipes off the plate. And the Povich Field crowd clapping along. Ryan Mets, 2 strikeouts in the inning so far. Tarkenton leads off first. 1-2 on Peter Costigan. Mets set from the belt. Here it comes outside. Ball 2. Passed ball from Grant Nip. Costigan into scoring position.
Just need to get one strike.
Tarkenton into scoring position. Pardon?
What in Tarkenton?
It's a good one.
Won't have many more chances to use it as DC. They only play them a couple more times this year. I mean, they only play everybody else a couple more times.
Here's the 2-2. High. Count is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Peter Costigan. Trying to get him to chase at the high off speed there. And Costigan was taking. So now settles. Mets at the belt. Checks back on Tarkenton at second. Kicks. Delivers. Swing! And a miss! He struck him out. 6 Ks all swinging for Ryan Mets in 2 sparkling innings of relief. And the big train have rumbled all the way back down 7th in the 3rd inning. And they score 9 straight unanswered runs to take this one by a final score of 9-7.
And it was a tale of 2 games here for the Big Train. They struggled in the first couple of innings, and then they turned it on after they scored that. They had that big 3-run inning in the 4th, capped off by an RBI double by Austin Gauthier. What a game it was for the Big Train. A huge comeback, and absolutely everybody is loving it here at Povich Field as they continue to roll through this season.
Ryan Mets gets the win after a sparkling 1-2-3 strike out the side 8th inning. 3 runs of support in the bottom to take the lead for the first time tonight and come back all the way back in this game. And then comes on, strikes out the first 2 batters in the 9th, hits Tarkenton, strands him at second with a strikeout on the 3-2 count of Peter Costigan. Donovan Freyer is the losing pitcher. Again, Mets moves to 2-0. The final score, Big Train 9, DC Grays 7, as the train rolls on for one more night. They move to 15-3. We'll be back in a moment with Big Train postgame. Myself, Ben Bobek, and Tyler Gallo in just a moment here on Big Train TV.
here at Povich Field. The Big Train capped off a huge comeback win and stave off winning or losing 2 in a row here as they win 8-7 here, 9-7, excuse me, over the good old DC Grays as they come back.
Wait, here we come. Gatorade Beth, they got him this time. They hit the mark of Brady Gump in the on-field interview. Quentin Corpuel with a little bit of the backsplash there.
But yeah, Ben's donning his cicada shirt as we're here as there's some celebrating in Bethesda. The Big Train cap off a huge comeback victory. They score 9 unanswered runs after going down 7-0 after the first 3 innings on the strength of a leadoff home run in the 8th inning, bottom of the 8th by Brady Gump, and then a couple more insurance runs. Ben, what's your first takeaway from this game?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, we talked a little bit about how over the last few games, things just hadn't gone the Big Train's way. The pitching came out a little bit soft today. There were some hard hit balls. 5 runs in the the top of the 3rd inning, rather, and they really looked behind the 8 ball. They really looked down, looked like they were going to lose their 2nd straight game. First time this season, first time since the start of the 2019 year, and this game was all about how they responded, how they took that adversity in stride and said, you know what, let's just go out there, let's do our thing. We focus on doing the little things right, and things will work out. And what do you know? The celebrations down there on the field with Brady Gump getting splashed all over with water, well-deserved after a fantastic ball game tonight.
It truly was a tale of 2 games for the Big Train. As I mentioned in the close of the game, they started off slow, and then they came back roaringly and came on to win. The Big Train moved to 15-3 while the DC Grays fall to 5-12, and they move further into the cellar. But it was a good effort for the DC Grays regardless. But I think my offensive player of the game, I mean, how could you not pick Brady Gump in this one? 4 for 4.
You already said it.
3 home runs.
We already declared it.
Yeah, and then, of course, it goes without, or you have to mention the performance in relief by Ryan Metz. 6 strikeouts.
Matt Howard as well.
Matt Howard. These 2 guys are going to be the guys that are relied upon in the late innings now that Jesse Barron has gone back home to San Francisco due to the innings limit, and I think they showed why they deserve these roles just here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Metz, obviously, we talked about him. Fantastic 2 innings there. 6 total strikeouts. You can't ask for anything more than that out of the last guy out of your bullpen. But Howard as well, 2 really strong innings. We mentioned the strong inning to set up Barron down in Alexandria. That's 3 innings in a row where Matt Howard has really looked his best, and the back end of that bullpen coming in clutch.
Yeah, right. Big Train win this one 9-7. Ben, any final thoughts on this game?
Just a fantastic way to come back. We'll see how this affects the Big Train going forward. They've already shown that they can come back, that they can do it all. Now they just got to keep it going. Day off tomorrow, like we said, back here for a home and home starting Tuesday night versus South County.
Right, game starts at 7. We'll be off tomorrow. Then we're back in town. Me and Dylan Spilko will be on the call for that one as Ben travels to Saint Louis for a sabbatical.
Rain doesn't care about pre-scheduled flights.
Rain does not care about pre-scheduled flights, but we'll be here for that on
I know
Big
you
TV.
guys. You guys will do a great job in my absence.
Yeah, make sure you tune in for that one as you are for always.
I will.
Ben better be tuned in for that one, even if you are on the plane. But for here, Big Train once again win 9-7 as they come back in a huge way. We'll see you there for Big Train TV on Tuesday for the next game against the South County Braves. It's the makeup of the one that was rescheduled last week. Take care, folks. See you next time.